10:01. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Finals are set in the NBA and NHL. The Stanley Cup final gets underway in Raleigh. The Hurricanes will host the Golden Knights for Game 1 on Tuesday. The NBA Finals tip off Wednesday night with the Spurs hosting the Knicks. In Knoxville, the drama around Tennessee and edge rusher Chaz Coleman continues as VolQuest reported over the weekend that Coleman returned to campus after missing the beginning of summer workouts, but his status with the football team appears to still be in question moving forward. Tennessee baseball season ended over the weekend with losses to ECU and VCU going 2 and done in the Chapel Hill Regional. Meanwhile, in Oklahoma City, the Lady Vols are in action again today in the Women's College World Series semifinals. They take on Texas at 11 a.m. Tennessee is 1 win away from the National Championship Series. The Cracker Barrel 400 came down to an exciting finish on Sunday at Nashville Superspeedway. After the rain delay, it was Denny Hamlin taking the checkered flag. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What a weekend. A lot of different sports to talk about and a bet to settle before we can do anything else. Good morning. Hope you got to enjoy what little sunlight we had this weekend. We're back underwater again today. There is no AC in the studio. Who is the first to strip naked? Because the odds-on favorite would be Robert Walsh. I don't know if Lucas doesn't just enjoy the heat generally. We've talked about him like he is some kind of lizard creature. He will often just go out in the parking lot and take off his shirt and sunbathe like an actual lizard. I feel like I'm close to starting to strip down. It may be a slow burn 3-hour game of strip poker here today if we don't get the AC situation rectified. Good morning, boys.
It could be a little bit cooler, but I'd rather it be this than be cold.
Shut up.
Disagree.
This is awful.
That is the opinion.
Stop. It is not.
That is the opinion of someone who has never weighed over 200 pounds in their entire life.
Now, I'm not going to speak for the control room. I could see it being a little toastier in there. It's a slightly more confined space surrounded by machinery.
Already so red in the face.
Yes.
My lip is sweating. I keep having to go like...
That room is going to smell so bad by the end of the day.
And I'm gassy, too, so this is going to be rough.
Oh.
But in this studio, come on, let's not be dramatic. It feels fine.
No, my face is flush.
It feels fine. But it does feel like a cruel joke, given the circumstances I faced this morning.
Yes, so regale me, because Robert was very giddy to tell me all about the show bet that the two of you, I'm glad the two of you made a show bet during Friday's show, the ECU Tennessee Chapel Hill Regional Showdown. That was a slugfest. We were keeping tabs on it over there at the Titans practice facility because did you know that you had a fellow ECU Pirate in Jill Jelnick of Fox 17? Were you aware?
Yeah, I did know that. She played softball there.
Okay, so Jill was keeping tabs on it, obviously vested interest. The TV people also monitoring things for Tennessee. For the most part, Jimmy Wyatt preying on the Vols' downfall. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Probably, though. And so, ultimately, ECU walks away victorious. So what is the bet, and what do you have to do today? Because you have a number of different things. You have props around you for the audio audience who is not able to watch us on Zone TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
The initial bet was only loser eats a tender of Shut the Cluck Up.
Mm-hmm. At the start of the show.
At the start of the show. So you got to suffer through it. But after the game was over, I offered Lucas. I said, hey, I'm on a mission of mercy. I will be willing to forget the tender if you would be willing to dress up like a pirate, which he has acquiesced to. But Lucas, being the man of the people that he is, says that he'll double down. Not only will he dress like a pirate, he will still eat the tender.
I think people are expecting the tender. I think it'd be lame for me to walk in here Monday morning and say, no, Robert said I don't have to do it, so I'm just going to wear this hat.
I heard you were under the influence when you made the decision to do both.
I'm never under the influence.
Well, here, I would like to.
This game was under the influence.
This 14 innings is
It's
nuts.
like, just end. I don't care. I don't
was
care
like,
anymore.
It's still going on when I got in the car. We were at the facility from 9 to 2.
Oh,
it's like,
man.
why is this game still on?
200 pitches.
Jeez. Tennessee was, I think, 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Time and time again, the Vols had the opportunity to walk this thing off. They couldn't get the job done, and ECU racked up a 4-run lead at the top of the 14th, and that was all she wrote.
I'm on another mission of mercy. I'm willing to help eat the tender. If you would let me apply one of these raw, smoke, sassy, escape, dense, or ebony eyeshadows to give you more of a Jack Sparrow appearance.
I vote ebony.
I would be cool with smoke, too. I think the smoke would really bring out the light in your eyes.
I'm just going to eat the tender.
No, come on. You don't want me to do a little makeup? I feel like everybody in the chat wants to see you with a little eyeshadow.
Be like that time we had Cheyenne come in and do Robert's makeup.
We tried to do this, but Cheyenne had to work today.
Like yes, it's great for the chat, but it does nothing for the legions of radio listeners. Like, what does it do for them for me to be wearing eye
do
makeup?
not use the audience as a meat shield.
This isn't for them.
Get out of here.
What am I protecting myself for? I am sitting here saying I will do the more difficult thing, which is to eat this shut the cluck up chicken tender.
No, the more difficult thing, and the visual, if you really wanted to pay off the audience, since you seem to care so much about the audience, if you really wanted to go above and beyond, the audience would then get to watch you sweat off the makeup on your face because of the shut the cluck up tender.
What does the audience want? What does the F&M Bank chat want?
We put it to a poll.
Can we put it to a quick poll there? Would they rather see me just eat the tender like the initial bet or eat a little bit of tender while wearing some eye makeup?
Yeah, I think it's going to be makeup by a landslide.
If you don't want to
we're going to get this. In fact, I think we're going to have Carrot Top. Robert is too valuable to bring in there, and also to give Zach a break from the gas that is that room during the course of a 3-hour show already back there. Maybe we'll have Zach do his makeup if the audience votes makeup. We did put it to a poll. At Buck Rising is where you can vote on the polls at the end of the show. We will update them. Does Lucas have to eat the whole tender? Simply yes or no. 100% of the audience so far, yes.
Yeah, I was going to eat. I'll eat the whole tender.
That's okay. We don't have to do makeup. If you don't want, you have been gracious enough to not only wear the pirate outfit for the whole show.
The chat wants me to just eat the tender.
Yeah, just the tender is fine. I procured this makeup from Monty, who produces across the hall at what's that country station?
103.3 Country.
103.3 Country. That's right. Our sister station.
Mm-hmm.
She provided the eyeshadow. I will just give this back to her. Lucas has been. Oh, look at that eye
Give it
patch.
back, and I'll wear the eye patch.
Okay, he's donned the eye patch over his left eye. Is that inhibiting for you at all? Will that make it more difficult for you to look up your lunch order instead of doing the show?
It'll be fine.
Okay, so we've got the eye patch. No. The outfit is not complete, right? What else do you have? You have a hat?
I put it on over the.
I feel that
I
the
want to
hat.
wear my headphones.
Well, I think we can accommodate this because you'd look more like a pirate if you turn the hat sideways. So why don't you turn the hat sideways?
Yeah, it'll fit a little bit.
Now he looks like a gold rush.
He looks
like
a 49er.
He looks like a pioneer. Especially, he's got the string dangling.
This is what folks miss out on.
You know what? No,
on the FNM Bank chat. This is why you got to be on YouTube, folks. Hit subscribe while you're there.
You look like Sour Sam.
You
don't.
I don't look like a pirate.
Yosemite Sam.
I don't even look a little bit like a pirate.
Okay, well, you don't look like a pirate the other way. You look like Kangaroo Jack if he lost a fight to an alligator or something like that.
This is more piratey than the sideways look.
I could not find I tried to find him a hook hand. I tried
Peter
to find
Panzika, look at him.
Peter Pan.
Should I do this now or at the start of the next segment? What do you all want?
Peter Panzika is crazy. Oh, that was pretty good.
Oh, he was dressed like Mussolini over the weekend. Speaking of children, did you see this?
Speaking of children,
yeah,
where was I speaking over the weekend?
Your LLS.
A room full of adults.
Okay, if you're.
What did you think it was an LLS event for kindergartners?
I don't know. I assume.
What is this LLS for ants?
There were some very brave children.
Some brave children who have battled through adversity and
absolutely
disease, and of course they were there to raise money.
Make fun of the
for a wonderful
charity
cause.
event that I did on Thursday.
I'm here to make fun of you in your ill-fitting suit. I had somebody send me a picture of him from stage level, and you just see his long-ass pant legs like he's never gotten tapered in his life.
It's my. I think it's like the I look like I'm making a speech. In
You
that picture.
talking with your arms looks like you are delivering a speech on fascism to the masses.
Yes, Edward, teach us something. What do you have?
Oh, God. So Lucas is in the outfit. So
should I do this now or at the start of the next segment?
Well, that's the question. What is, Robert, I guess you get to decide. You are the victor. ECU triumphant, 14 innings over Tennessee. What is...
Even though ECU promptly got eliminated, it must be said.
Hey, they fought. They fought, baby. They beat the hell out of ECU. They came close against UNC, and then the lid got knocked off in the final game. But before we do that, do you guys know what a Pirate's favorite letter is?
R.
You would think it's the R, but it's really the C.
That's good.
Eat that tender.
Okay.
Do you want it now or the next?
No. It sounds like...
Then I have the whole break to suffer through it.
Well, no, we have time. We can go long here. Okay. We can do a little sports talk if we want to. I mean, there were sports over the weekend. We have much to, as Lucas likes to say or tweet very often, we do have much to discuss throughout the course of the show. So you go ahead, and I'll remind people as you start to, yes, there is the Hattie B's Shut the Cluck Up tender. Now, remind me, Hattie B's, for every tender of Shut the Cluck Up sold, there's a charitable component, if I'm not mistaken. Am I making that up?
No, yes. If you do the Hattie B's Shut the Cluck Up challenge.
Oh, the challenge. Okay.
A portion of the proceeds do go to a local charity. I will confirm the charity.
Yeah, so it's a good cause if you want to, put yourself through what we're about to put Lucas through visually. Robert is just, this is like when Lucas's face when I had to eat that hot chip. I've never seen you smile like that. It was a joy, a deviousness, and a joy that I don't think, I can't imagine that you've experienced other than when Tennessee beat Alabama. I don't know what has made you felt better than me, almost dying from that hot chip.
Oh, many things. Whatever the most recent, the Lady Vols. The Lady Vols, they can get it done today. One win away from the National Championship Series in Oklahoma City.
Now,
the Busy Head Project, which is founded by Noah Kahan, the artist,
yes,
is a nonprofit mental health organization. That is the charity that if you do the Shut the Cluck Up challenge at any one of your Middle Tennessee Hattie B's, a portion of your proceeds will go towards the Busy Head Project. Shout out to Hattie B's. Download the app. Order it like I did this one singular tender. I just a la carte ordered one tender. It's very ominous. Just staring back at me.
What color is it? It looks purple.
Yeah, it's scary. This is not good.
All right, so here the audience, because we do everything, as Lucas has said, we do everything in service of the audience. The audience has suggested, Eric has said that we should leave Lucas's camera on. I've got an ad to do, but we'll leave Lucas's camera on during the break. Robert, if I'm not mistaken, we also have the ability to leave Lucas's microphone on for only the chat. Is that a dangerous game?
It is, because you're in the room and you are prone to say things when the mics get cut off.
I'll say foul things.
I think that's not worth
on
the
FCC
risk.
Safe.
Yeah, maybe we don't leave the mic on. I will leave his camera on after you get done with your ad read. I just can't get over the fact that Lucas looks like Brett Michaels suffered a terrible eye injury right now. It's like every rose has its thorn, and one poked me in the eye, and I can't see.
What was he doing at the draft, by the way? Brett Michaels and Wiz Khalifa out there on the stage in Pittsburgh.
Random.
Dude, people talk about nightmare blunt rotations. I feel like that would be like a dream blunt rotation.
Oh, man.
I would ask him so much about the VH1 show. Like,
Rock of Love?
Dude, what was
that
it
was like I feel like middle school, that and Flavor of Love were like the trash TV that I feel like we grew up on as America when we were a proper country. Anyway, Lucas will eat the tender. Actually, go ahead and start eating the tender now for the on-air audience. Perhaps we can get a gasp or a whimper.
The initial bite, yeah.
An initial.
I'll eat the tender, and then I'll tease the next segment with information about Chaz Coleman. How about that?
Dude, you're such a stud.
Look at him. It's because it's warm in here. We're going to get his best performance of the year because it's 9,000 degrees in the studio.
Before you do this, I appreciate how committed you are to the bit. A lot of people would have tried to weasel out of this or had some milk or done something.
I literally did this.
And Lucas is taking it on the chin. So I will give you the utmost respect for that.
I prepared for it this morning. I had a very neutral breakfast of some egg whites and toast.
It doesn't matter what's in you. It's all coming out after. And there, I'll listen to the crunch The crunch. Okay, so at your convenience, you signal me however you want to, and you can tease the next segment because there is, speaking of juicy Hattie B's tenders, there's juicy news, juicy updates on Chaz Coleman. What's that in the background? Faintly.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Off in the distance. Is that Jack Sparrow's theme music? No. It's the next Disney superhero. It's Peter Panzika. In his eye patch and his cowboy hat, looking like Brett Michaels.
I'm taking another
Doesn't
bite.
have a sword to swashbuckle with. Oh, my God, that hiccup.
That's the reaction I have to spicy food is it gives me the hiccups like
no.
crazy.
He's going to be completely useless throughout the rest of the show.
Take another bite.
No swashbuckling with a sword. Just a Hattie B's. Shut the cluck up. Hot chicken tender.
This is for the Vols.
Send us to break, Peter Panzika.
Coming up next, what the hell's going on with Chaz Coleman in Knoxville? Conflicting reports. We'll let you hear them.
He almost threw up. The Tennessee Men's Clinic here to help you throughout the course of the aging process because it's a natural part of getting older. Your body starts to change as you get up there in age, and you want to be prepared for that next phase of life to make sure that you can still move around, feel like you used to. If your energy's off, if things aren't working like they used to, you're not alone. The Tennessee Men's Clinic, powered by Men's Pro, is here to help you through that process. And what you'll like about them is that they've been doing this for years. They're not just the newest fly-by-night place or sketchy online pill. You're working with true medical providers. They run labs, build a plan around you, not some one-size-fits-all type of deal. They treat low-performance, ED, weight loss, maybe even hiccups, and even peptides like NAD+. Their treatments have worked for thousands of men, and most guys say they wish they would have come in sooner instead of procrastinating. Right now, your lab panel and consultation, just $99. Call 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090, or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. The pirate Panzika, he's sweating. He sweat through his hat. I see a little bit of moisture around his eye patch, a slight gleam. You look unwell.
The Coach B on the F&M Bank chat says, now I'm hungry, but no Hattie B's in East Tennessee. But I have news.
Not yet.
In East Nashville, coming soon. That is east of Nashville.
How are you?
The thing is, the chicken...
Why do you keep wiping your mouth?
Phenomenal.
It's making me nervous.
I don't know.
He doesn't have hair around it to, like, soak up the moisture, so he just keeps getting wet lip.
It's the slow build, man, because those first couple bites, you're just like, this is just really good chicken. But I saved, like, the last fourth of it, or three.
Oh, God. It just...
That might have been the part with the most spice on it.
So while he eats the rest of the chicken and suffers through it, he very sheepishly asked me for some paper towels during the commercial break. The AC in the building is out today. So this is probably the worst possible day. If we ever wanted to test Lucas's love of heat, this would be the day. Because not only is it enough for you to just work up a light sweat in the studio. I propped the door open.
I'm blessed to love spicy foods. This could be a lot worse if I didn't genuinely adore spicy. Like this, it's really good. Like, I feel like the worst of it's over. Now I'm just enjoying this chicken tender.
Oh, just eat the rest.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Did you already eat the pickles?
Mm-hmm.
Did you eat the bread?
Help. I feel like...
Yeah, bread's...
But the bread is just filled with that.
Yeah,
that would just be like...
I know.
I brought my own bread. I brought my own bread.
What do
That's
you
not
mean
soaked
you
in
know?
spices.
Look at you.
All
This
right.
is supposed to be your friend.
You want me to eat the bread? I'll eat the bread. Look at this.
You won't.
This bread is soaked.
Oh, my God.
He ain't scared.
I'm going to eat it in one bite.
If you're scared, say you're scared.
Why don't we do...
Oh, Lord.
Just shoved it all in there.
And he ain't got nothing to drink over there. He
Nothing.
ain't got a water.
He refused it. He refused it.
Mm-mm. That's it. That's it.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
No, you can't say that's my dog. You tried to set him up.
That is my dog.
That
Yeah, I tried
and
to
your-
set him up.
And your pirates are going home.
You're sitting right
You don't
there
even
next
get to
to us.
enjoy a super regional either.
You're sitting right there next to us, buddy. How much did y'all spend on that team? You just got beat by a 1978 Camaro.
Done. Emptied it out.
Proud of you. Proud of you. Wave your
did
little
you
flag.
lick
Do
it?
you have the flag?
Oh, yes.
Do you have the shut the clock up flag?
Victory flag.
Victory flag.
Download the Hattie B's app. You don't have to get the Shut the Clock Up, though it is for charity. But
The challenge is for charity.
you don't have to do this. You can just get some mild or hot or some salad.
Some grilled, perhaps.
The grilled tenders are good.
Grilled tender's good.
The breathing makes it worse.
Some,
Here, I can cut your mic off.
some
so you
mac and
can-
cheese. No. I think it's better for the audience to hear.
I'm kind of
It
scared.
sounds like
that-
Terry McCormick at a press conference.
Can you imagine if Blaine touched the mic button over there and there was just a remnant of...
Okay.
We
You
need
have
to clean
to.
the buttons.
You have to.
I'll clean the buttons. Don't worry. I'll
I'm
clean
going
the
to the
buttons.
bread I brought from home.
You have to.
I'm just going to soak on
You
it.
have to. He's now taken just a piece of it. Looks like sourdough bread. A little bit of sourdough there. Sourdough good.
Aldi.
Aldi sourdough bread. And is, as he said, doing like the Mormons. He's soaking on it.
Carrie said cornbread croutons. Don't you love the cornbread
Correct.
croutons?
So good.
Cornbread croutons.
Oh, that'd be really good right now. Okay, it hurts now.
So why don't I take a phone call while you collect yourself?
But it hurts good.
Okay.
It's a good hurt.
I'm proud of you.
The
I'm proud
chicken
of you.
is so good.
Way to pay off a show bet. A round of applause.
Only Hattie B's can still make you enjoy that.
No, truly. It is the, no pain, no gain type of situation.
I'm sweating so much.
You're lucky you're wearing black today because you would be so pitted out.
God, imagine if we would have put the makeup on him. It would just be
Well, that's what I'm saying. He
at
would
the
have
sweat.
sweated through it. I wish we would have done the makeup bit.
I'm going to end up having to take my shirt off. I am also sweating back here, like visibly.
Oh, you big baby.
Yeah. I'll take it off. I ain't
All right,
scared.
he's got an attitude now, so let's take a phone call and then let's talk about Chaz Coleman now that he's literally warmed up. Patrick is in Nashville next. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yo, love the show, guys. Bert, I love you.
I love you too, Patrick.
Say it back.
But I do got a little beef with you. You're a dumb sport. I love baseball. You're a dumb sport, and you're a fake fan, but you're my favorite person on this show. I love you, but you're a dumb sport.
A bad sport, perhaps. A dumb sport.
No, he said a dumb sport.
A dumb sport.
I'll take it. Be a winning dumb sport, I guess.
Well, no. You also lost.
Nah, we were regular season champions and got to go to a regional. It was okay.
And,
we did okay. We're not a big SEC program who sinks $12 million into a program. That's like our whole NIL budget. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. But I appreciate it. That's what sports are all about, man. Poking fun at each other.
There's a war being waged inside my stomach.
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to be the victor?
It's like the Battle of Waterloo.
I know who's winning that.
I'm Napoleon, definitely. In this scenario.
Well, you're short.
That's what the whole chat is saying right now. Get Lou some water.
No, that's not my concern. He's gonna have to do the rest of the show from a toilet. Is what I fear.
No.
No?
No.
You're saying that very definitively.
Like a kid. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Does that feel good?
Can we hear from...
Oh, yeah, if you were Hattie B, shut the cluck up, baby. Does that feel good?
So, Chaz Coleman. Nobody knows what's going on with Chaz Coleman.
Oh, there's so much sports to talk about, and we've done nothing for 30 minutes.
Oh, how about this? How about I'll be the one to get us back on track.
Okay, buddy.
As I suffer. NBA Finals are set. Stanley Cup Final is set. There is drama in Knoxville. Rinse and repeat. This feels like the norm now for Josh Heupel in the offseason. Yeah. Chaz Coleman did not show up to the beginning of summer workouts. And then, according to VolQuest and Knoxville News Sentinel, he did show up over the weekend, but it doesn't mean things are just resolved and everything's okay and we move forward here with Chaz Coleman as part of the proceedings. Yesterday morning, Doug Matthews on his weekly radio show, Big Orange Sunday, right here on The Zone, had this to say about the Chaz Coleman situation.
Chaz Coleman, young man who came in as out of the transfer portal from Penn State. I think he is a redshirt sophomore, Talented player, but young, inexperienced, but really was being counted on probably to be the starter at edge rusher, I would think. No longer with the program. I think it's probably pretty mutual, but he was dismissed this past week after, I think, about as good an effort as Coach Heupel and this staff could have kept to keep him there. Didn't work out. Those things happen, right?
So that's Doug Matthews, as Lucas mentioned, on his Sunday morning show. And just to make sure, because obviously this has created, should we say diplomatically, some level of confusion around Chaz Coleman's already confusing situation.
I'm washing this down.
Okay, yes, but he is acknowledging with a head nod that it has been a confusing weekend because Austin Price, who of course reports on the Vols, among others, for VolQuest, was on the morning show this morning with Ramon and Will. You can check the podcast, or excuse me.
Wrong.
Where?
Mac and Cube, Jocks 94.5.
Okay.
In Birmingham this morning with Greg McElroy and Cole Cuba.
Okay, very good. So on Jocks this morning, Austin Price with his version of a Chaz Coleman update.
Same that it was going into the weekend. He's still around. He's still part of the program. I think, he arrived back in town on Friday. They started workouts, summer workouts last Monday, and even actually started on Memorial Day. And he did not show back up till Friday. Again, I think it's probably headed a certain direction. It's just not there yet. Chaz Coleman's got to want to put forth effort, and to this point, Cole, he's just not shown a willingness to do that. And, I think it's probably headed towards, a separation, permanent separation, sooner rather than later. But again, it's not to that point yet, just because I think, with certain things, there's, like check the boxes, dot the I's, cross the T's, all that stuff. It's not as simple as just you're off the team because of some other stuff. It's just not as simple as, severing ties.
Well, yeah, the finances, if nothing else. So, Austin Price, my mistake on Mac and Cube on Jocks. So, the line about it probably heading towards a separation, a permanent separation sooner rather than later, is it's not completely co-opting what Doug said, but it's saying that things are trending in that direction. Doug Matthews is as tied in with the Tennessee football program as any human being is to any one specific thing, entity, sports related or otherwise. So Doug knows his stuff. He's not coming to the microphone and just saying something that he hasn't talked to somebody specifically about. This entire saga, because to your point, this is now, and again, we don't see these issues at Vanderbilt as much. Maybe it'll happen at some point as Vandy continues to grow its profile and its level of competency as a football program and in his athletic department, and doing so very well. But we've seen a number of different dramatic situations with Tennessee's football program, specifically between Nico, followed by Boo Carter, and now Chaz Coleman. And I don't know how common this is in other Power 4 programs or at Notre Dame. I don't know if we're feeling that this is an outsized level or number of these things specific to Tennessee, because we're not chronicling these other programs as closely as we are the Vols. So maybe this is more common than I realize. But this does seem to have an inordinate amount of issues, or they have had an inordinate amount of issues. And I don't know that that's their fault. It may just be bad luck.
Yeah, that's the thing that's hard to kind of sit there and cipher through, because you're right. You don't see these high-profile cases. Like, yes, we are more zoomed in on Tennessee than anything, but the Nico Iamaleava thing was a massive headline grabber.
Huge story.
The biggest story, if not
sports.
the biggest stories of the college football offseason,
No,
certainly.
I would say in sports, because of the implications
and how
of
unprecedented it was.
A quarterback holdout situation.
Yes.
Now you're leveraging and you fail. Not just because you've seen guys essentially hold out for more money in this. You've not seen a program put its foot down, and the ripple effects of that across the sport. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so the Nico situation was sort of its own thing, and we talked so much about that situation and the counsel that Nico had with his family and how that impacted that, and you sit there and you wonder, could Tennessee have done anything? Like, that's what we have to do with all three situations, right? Okay, well, what could Tennessee have done better to avoid this situation? So with Nico, maybe Tennessee could have started to negotiate earlier, right? I don't know, but at the end of the day, I think what Nico's camp was going to want was always going to be something that Tennessee wasn't going to be willing to give. So there's an impasse there. And if anything, Josh Heupel was praised after the Nico situation, right?
Yes.
Nobody right after the Nico situation said, oh, Tennessee football's better off this season. But everybody said, good on you, Josh Heupel.
Yes.
And then the Boo Carter situation comes around, and that was just a weird deal. And it felt like it was just one individual player that, for whatever reason, was not working well with his teammates, didn't want to be a part of things. Teammates didn't really want him around for some time. He had to come back and re-earn the trust of his teammates. Eventually he got back on the field, but unsurprisingly hit the portal and ends up at Colorado, where family members have said is where he always wanted to be in the first place. Okay, so there's that. And now there's this situation where it's so delicate because there seems to be a lot of personal issues at hand here with Chaz Coleman. There seems to be a lot of off-field stuff that we are not privy to, nor should we be privy to as the general public. Like, I don't want to know the nitty-gritty details if there's anything family-related, and mental health-related. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and speculate on that stuff with Chaz Coleman. It's what makes it hard to talk about. But the main point for me is, on the football side of things, he's barely a teammate for these guys. I mean, he spent a couple weeks at the beginning of spring ball and then leaves for the majority of spring ball. Hasn't really been back since. And now he's back on campus, but it's not just you're back on campus, okay, we'll just proceed as normal. Like, I don't know what has to happen here moving forward. Doug Matthews is saying it's pretty much done. Austin Price and the rest of the VolQuest guys are saying, no, it's not officially done, but, you know, there's a long way to go from here. So the whole thing has been weird and nebulous, but he's a hugely important player for Tennessee this season. No question about it.
615-737-1045, the number. If you want to participate, you can do that.
What are the odds that you say he is on the team? If you had to put odds on it right now, can you guys hear the beach wind behind me blowing? Is it picking any of that
what
up?
is that?
I have a fan.
Also, it's loud in here because, like, computers are starting to whir at a heightened level because it's hot.
I think odds feel pretty low that Chaz Coleman's a part of this. It feels like so much will have to happen over the course of the next few weeks. I am to the point now where I would be surprised if Chaz Coleman is playing for Tennessee in 2026 because it just feels like we're going to have to do a total course reversal away from the direction this thing has been heading, seemingly from the jump from the beginning of spring ball.
Because even if he did a 180, you would be like, I don't know, you'd probably side-eye that guy for a little while if you're one of his teammates, right? Because you're like, all right, what? Yeah, we're bought in. Why aren't you bought in?
He doesn't have anywhere to go, right? Like if he wants to play football this season, it has to be at Tennessee. He could leave after the regular season. But the money part of this is interesting. I don't think you were here when we talked about Austin Price's reporting on VolQuest that Tennessee actually sat down with Chaz Coleman's family at some point towards the end or after spring practice and kind of restructured the deal to make it more backloaded to incentivize his return a little bit more. So Tennessee really has only paid Chaz Coleman, according to Austin Price, approximately $20,000.
Oh,
of the $2 million that he is owed, according to Austin Price. There's been reporting about Chaz Coleman getting a $3.5 million NIL deal. Again, these are all just reports. We don't have any official records on this.
Say ballpark.
But Austin Price said of the $2 million, Tennessee has paid him approximately $20,000 so far. So it won't be this huge sunk cost for the Vols, but it is, of course, still money that could have gone elsewhere.
Well, it's just time spent.
Time spent, and a position that suddenly becomes a huge question mark in terms of personnel.
Do you even want him on your team at this point?
Exactly. Like the Boo Carter thing last year, I think you came to the same question. Do you even want him around at this point?
That's the way that I feel about all of these, and I feel like that's going to be, I don't want to say it's going to become a constant position in college football because I don't know how many programs are dealing with this the way that Tennessee is. And I saw a comment in the chat, and we'll move on after this, or we can continue to talk about it. It's a compelling enough story. I think we have enough room today to spread it out throughout the course of the show. But Josh Heupel in the chat, and there's obviously some Vanderbilt fans who have strong feelings, and I'm sure this is said at least in part tongue-in-cheek. But where is it? Your buddy Dixie says in the chat, it's never Josh Heupel's fault, though. Am I right, UT fans? I just don't have enough information. I really don't have, especially on this one. Like the Boo Carter thing was more clear-cut. Nico was more clear-cut. This is just like, well, he's homesick, but he's got vertigo, but he's got all these different things, but Jim Knowles knows him, so it's okay.
He's posting on his Instagram a few days ago with like holding wads of cash, like the whole.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there was one of those.
Who was the Kentucky starter that got benched? Calzada?
Yeah, Zach Calzada. So dumb.
I love that. Anytime you're feeling threatened, just show them that you make way more money than they'll ever see in their lifetimes, and that'll make them like you.
But it just feels like all of these situations that you worry about with 18-year-olds that maybe don't have the best guidance. I'm not saying that of Chaz Coleman, but you look back to the Nico situation. Certainly what we saw from the Boo Carter situation with how much his family's espousing on Facebook. Yeah. You know, it was just a big dramatic mess. And yes, that's going to happen when there are 18-year-olds suddenly making millions of dollars that don't necessarily have the people in place around them that are well equipped to deal with these situations. But it does seem to keep happening in Knoxville. So it's a hard place to be where it's hard to draw a line and say, no, Josh Heupel has to do this better to prevent these things. But it does keep happening in the last year and a half.
Do they not have a general manager? Do they have somebody in a similar role? Because somebody just, Jack on YouTube just pointed that out in the chat. As a Tennessee fan, it's the fact that Heupel, is doing two jobs in college football. You need a GM. We don't have one.
Billy High I remember that name. Is Tennessee's executive director of football management.
Okay.
So he is basically in that role. Josh Heupel, yes, has a ton of sway in these conversations. So every program will do it differently. I think, like, you look at Oklahoma, I think Jim Nagy is straight up the GM of the Oklahoma Sooners. And yes, he and Brent Venables are on the same page. He's not just saying, you work with this guy, deal with it one way or another. Yeah. Like, they're obviously all working towards the same goal.
Barton Simmons and Clark Lee.
Yes. So I think Tennessee fans want to see something that's just more structured in nature like that. But Billy High, for all intents and purposes, that is his job, is to manage those types of things with the type of player that Josh Heupel wants to bring in.
Yeah, it almost feels like a different version of the Titans conversation, like when we're just almost guessing at a certain point what everybody's responsibilities are, and nobody's really being clearly defined. about this, so I get wanting just more clarity, right? If you have issues, at least put a definition on it to ease people's minds a little bit about the situation, if not entirely. We do have an NBA Finals set. We'll talk about it next.
This is a different court, Blair.
Same result, Slay.
Oh, okay, Blair. See, that's Tyler Tanner. See, Tyler Tanner's in the house now.
Let's see what you got. Jerry's out, Blair.
Blair, come on. Okay, Blair, just come sit down. Come on, Blair, stop. You're going to get hurt. Blair, get off the court. That's enough.
What's the verdict, Blair? The courtroom is where I play ball.
Boy, Durham, injury law. And that ain't got no roof.
The guaranteed offer is the simplest, least stressful way to sell your home. You go to our website, you fill out a quick form, we set an appointment, we bring you an all-cash offer. Literally, there's no lockbox on the front of your house, there's no showings, we pay all cash, we close in as little as 21 days, stress-free. We've helped thousands of homeowners just like you sell your home the hassle-free way with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate.
Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Shut the clock up or otherwise, 615-737-1045, the number if you want to jump in. So, the NBA Finals officially set. The defending champions, Thunder, they fall to Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. And for the first time since the 90s, hell, the last time the Knicks were in the finals. Knicks and Spurs facing off in this NBA Finals series. This, to me, is the best-case scenario for a league that has not had, I don't think they've had a successful postseason. Now, does it matter if they get the finals matchup that they want? If rounds 2 and 3 were kind of duds? The game, or the series between the Spurs and the Thunder, it went 7, but these games weren't good games.
Game 7 wasn't fun.
Right?
Yeah, it was just a grind. Spurs kind of just grinded it out start to finish.
Game 1 was awesome because Victor Wembanyama went Super Saiyan.
And was probably never going to be beat. I mean, Game 1 was one of the better postseason games of the last however many years.
Sure.
All around. No, this is great. This is two teams that are inexperienced, that, this core, obviously the Spurs have had their success, but this core of the Spurs and obviously this core of the Knicks have not experienced this type of success, as opposed to the Thunder, who felt like, or probably still feel like, are on this trajectory. Like the Oklahoma City Thunder could still be in the very beginnings of a dynasty. We can't call it that. But there's a reality where they're in the same conversation, Western Conference Finals, NBA Finals, for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
I'm not worried about them. They're going to be back. You missed an opportunity.
Yeah, we're losing it.
His brain's not working the same way.
I'm sweating.
Came out with a lot of steam in the first 45 minutes of the show and now slowly fading.
Yeah, I am fading slowly. But that was delicious, though.
But this is the NBA Finals that we all wanted, right? No matter the way that we got here, because I thought the first round was compelling. You had the Knicks and the Hawks. At least, the Hawks pushed them for a minute. It's the only time that they've been really pushed, when they've won 11 straight. They are 12-2 in the postseason, the New York Knicks, and winning by an average margin of victory. It's just under 20 points. It's like 19.8 points. It's the best in NBA Finals or NBA postseason history. It's insane. And I know they're beating a bunch of tomato cans. Their comparison is probably this year's Patriots team, if you wanted to really boil down to it. But I think that they are a better version of that because they're legit good. They're not getting here just based on bad competition. They're beating the ass of the competition in front of them. And now it feels like really got tested against the Hawks, kind of. Got tested in Game 1 against the 76ers. But that's about it. This is really going to be a huge opportunity for Jalen Brunson and Cat and Mike Brown, who is in a weird situation, replacing Tom Thibodeau after they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and James Dolan decides, no, not good enough. Was James Dolan right? James Dolan very rarely gets any kind of flowers for making good decisions around the Knicks specifically. But James Dolan's got a team that's in the finals and made one of the more notable coaching changes that I can remember in the last couple of years in any sport.
So who do we have? If we had to pick a winner right now, Knicks or Spurs, two teams without really any finals experience for the most part. Spurs are 4.5-point favorites in Game 1, which is Wednesday night in San Antonio.
Well, let me answer your question with a question. Would it have mattered to you if the Thunder would have advanced versus the Spurs? Do you believe the Spurs to be better than the Thunder simply because they advanced? Because that's not always the case. I don't think that Philadelphia was better than Boston.
I would have favored the Thunder over the Knicks. I think I favor the Knicks over the Spurs.
Vegas does not. They have the Spurs pretty comfortably favored. But Vegas has had a hard time with the Knicks the whole way through, right? They can't handicap one of these games correctly because they just keep expecting, I would imagine, we all do, the Knicks to have a bit of a letdown moment. And maybe that game was Game 1 against the Cavs where they have to come back from down 22, but they still did it and then still beat their ass.
So which of the two stars, the two faces of these respective franchises, carries more weight on them here?
Wembanyama.
Wemby? For certain? Because
De'Aaron Fox has not been good enough. I know he's battling through a rolled ankle here. I'm blanking on. Oh, I can picture his face. He got fouled hard the other day, or in Game 7, and one of his teammates had to hold him back on the floor. It's going to drive me crazy. Either way, there is more of a supporting cast for the Knicks, I feel, than the Spurs.
Okay.
I think Wembanyama needs to have a better singular performance to elevate what's around him. The Knicks, to me, are a better basketball team, 1-5.
Okay, then
OG is excellent on defense. Like they've got options.
Yes, Wemby will have more on his shoulders in terms of needing to do more. Though Jalen Brunson is going to have to pace the Knicks the whole way here. But
Stephon Castle, thank you, Chad.
Big picture, I feel like there's more pressure on the Knicks here. I feel like there's way more pressure on the Knicks here.
But I disagree with you because I think for Wembanyama, it's an arrival moment. No, show us that you are worthy of this hype, you 7'4" alien. By the way, Nike just nails these ads after the fact every time. Did you see this one that they put out after the Spurs advance? Because he's a Nike athlete, Wembanyama. They had a visual on their Twitter account. It said, he has arrived, NBA Finals. And it's a UFO hovering, and it drops down from, the light below the UFO. This giant 7'4" figure and an alien, I guess it's his logo, appears above the UFO. Is very well done.
I feel like the Knicks carry more emotional pressure in this thing, having almost gotten to this point last year and come up just short in the conference finals, firing a head coach, and the weight Jalen Brunson carries, because there's so many other variables thrown in around the Jalen Brunson situation. A little residue there.
A little residual.
Shut the cluck up residual. Getting caught up.
There was you didn't see it if you were listening on the radio, but just a little cloud of dust emerged from his mouth as he coughed.
I feel like Brunson has sort of the storybook ending possible here.
Oh yeah, no.
Right?
If he already might be one of their favorite Knicks players, that city's favorite Knicks players
100%,
of all time.
100%. Son of Rick Brunson, right? Like it's just this whole full circle thing. 33rd overall pick, turns into one of the best guards in the NBA, kind of leading the charge to bring the Knicks back to glory. All of New York is just going insane. It just feels like there would be more of a letdown if the Knicks fumble this opportunity than if the Spurs do, whereas I think we're looking at it as it's Wemby's first. It's Wemby's first NBA Finals of probably multiple, whereas it feels like the Knicks are just trying to capitalize on a moment here and carry more emotional pressure to me than the Spurs do.
Which is funny because the Spurs feel like more the team of the moment than the Knicks do. The Knicks have been building, ascending
they have.
As this. And
but it doesn't feel that way.
You're probably right. You're probably right as far as the emotional letdown for New York if they drop this. But I almost feel like they're house money every time. Like it's just crazed joy every time they win because they're not being pushed, right? They haven't had to be pushed. Maybe that's why I'm feeling that they give off more house money to me, because when have they been threatened since the Hawks series? Hardly at all. 615-737-1045. It's A.J. Brown Day. We'll tell you what that means coming up next. Nothing worse than a plumbing, HVAC, or electrical emergency. I can speak for that ourselves right now because we are in the midst of an HVAC emergency. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost or if it'll get fixed correctly or if someone is just trying to sell you something. That's when you call Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Their experts are going to solve your problems quickly. The price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. There's no hidden fees or surprises on your bill. Hiller has been in business for over 35 years, and they're family-owned and operated. Their techs are awesome. They're professional, experienced, and trustworthy. When they're on their way for your appointment, you'll receive a photo of your tech and a link to track them in real time, so you don't waste your time waiting around. 100% satisfaction guaranteed of happy you'll be, or the service is free. That's the Happy Hiller promise. So book online today with ease at happyhiller.com.
It's Ramon Foster, and I'm with Aaron from United Structure Systems. Man, they came by today to check out my house. If there's anything, any issues, small or big, you're gonna fill us in there.
We can take care of it no matter what kind of problems. So first off, we'll just kind of take a look through your house and see what kind of issues you got going. You know, cracks in the brick, cracks in the drywall, weird spots in the floor, doors sticking, windows not opening properly. Once we identify those areas, we're going to do a thorough inspection around the outside, make sure there's no issues going on with that. And then once we look over it, we'll talk about what's going on, and hopefully we ain't got no issues, and then we'll go from there.
Let's go. Let's go.
Mr. Foster, so we have looked at the issues that you brought up. We had the drywall in the attic up here above your bonus or your garage. You had some doors sticking.
I did.
Going in your bathroom. So we've inspected all that. We don't see any major structural concerns. So you're going to be one of our lucky good news customers today. There is some minor deflection there. That's not an uncommon thing. As any house is built, it's its biggest and its strongest the day that it's born. Right, and from that point, it just gets older, just like us. We ain't hopping up out of bed, taking off down the hallway, running upstairs anymore.
Not protecting quarterbacks anymore.
No.
Opening up late. We're done.
Your guard ain't there no more.
Okay,
so,
I got you.
So it just happens. It gets a little older and it starts to deflect. Now, there are some things we can do to kind of help adjust those doors, mainly adjusting in the door, which we don't necessarily do, and maybe doing some light shimming in the crawl space down there to address those sticking doors. But for now, no major issues there. We did talk about the grading in the back and some issues that we can take care of back there for you. But that's pretty much up in a nutshell. No big issues and you're good to go. So.
Awesome. So again, what you deal with United Structural Systems is it's upfront, it's honest, and now I can sleep peacefully at night, okay?
.02, good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs, 104.5 The Zone studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Finals are set in the NBA and NHL. The Stanley Cup final gets underway in Raleigh. The Hurricanes host the Golden Knights for Game 1 tomorrow. The NBA Finals tip off Wednesday night with the Spurs hosting the Knicks. In Knoxville, the drama around Tennessee and edge rusher Chaz Coleman continues as VolQuest reported over the weekend that Coleman returned to campus after missing the beginning of summer workouts, but his status with the football team does appear to be in question moving forward. Tennessee baseball season ended over the weekend with losses to ECU and VCU going 2-0 in the Chapel Hill Regional. Meanwhile, in Oklahoma City, the Lady Vols are in action today in the Women's College World Series semifinals. Taking on Texas, first pitch happening right now. Tennessee, one win away from the National Championship Series. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Happy A.J. Brown Day to all of you who celebrate. Now, A.J. Brown Day does not conclude at the very minimum until 3 p.m., 3:01 p.m. Central Time, because that is the time when the post-June 1st designations will go into effect, meaning that the Philadelphia Eagles can, if they so choose, move A.J. Brown for a significantly lesser cost than had they tried to do so prior to today. Welcome back to the show. It's the second hour, 615-737-1045. The number, Lucas seems to have fully recovered from his shut the cluck up chicken tender, a bet lost, a bet wagered on Friday between Robert Walsh, his ECU Pirates, and Tennessee in the Chapel Hill Regional, a game that went 14 innings and ended in a Pirates victory.
Where's your eye patch?
All right. Haven't done enough for you today?
I thought it was the whole show.
There's your eye patch.
Yeah.
There's your eye patch. I'm going to pull up Tennessee, Texas in Oklahoma City, see if we can provide some updates in the battle of the UTs.
I've heard of looking at things with a jaundiced eye, but I don't know about looking at them through one eye.
So Lucas is dressed as a pirate and had to eat a shut the cluck up tender because Robert and his ECU Pirates, of which he cares absolutely none about, were able to win. Does that make it hurt more?
No, I love them. He doesn't care about the Vols baseball either. He'd trade that program for a national championship in football in a heartbeat. Don't act like all of a sudden he's some big baseball aficionado. He's not Joseph. Joseph and Brent are the only people that work in this building that actually care about baseball.
That's probably true.
Joseph follows Tennessee baseball like religiously.
Oh, really?
I mean, he can tell you the entire pitching staff, like the whole deal.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. Robert and I do not.
Casuals,
in that way.
if you would.
Casuals, yes. It didn't stop Robert from having a rage fit when Henry Ford hit that solo shot to tie it up in the bottom of the ninth.
Is that when you punched the thing?
No, that was at Beer Olympics. We'll talk about that before polls. No, the reason I had a rage fit was not because, partially because Henry Ford did that 2 outs to go, almost out of the game, and had to pitch an extra 5 innings, 4 innings, whatever the hell it was. No, it was because Joseph said, "Yeah, take that, Bert, bleep you," right in the side of my ear. And it took everything in me in that moment not to be aggressive. So rather than be aggressive against Joseph, I just flipped the chair.
Took it out on an inanimate object.
Could you hit Joseph?
Could I hit him?
Could you hit him? Like if it came down to it?
Could I morally hit him?
Yes, because he's very small, right? He squeaks like some kind of helpless animal, like he's like one of these abandoned fawns you find in like a cornfield somewhere. It's not really moving. It's trying to stay still to not get eaten by a predator. It would be like punching Joseph would be like punching a baby fawn in the face.
Nah, yeah, I couldn't hit Joseph. I would have no problem like picking him up and like squeezing the life out of him, but I definitely couldn't hit him. That would be too much.
Well, in actual sports news, A.J. Brown can be or could be officially traded this evening. Now, this is Jeremy Fowler with the latest reporting as of this morning on ESPN, talking about the former Titans, now Eagles, currently Eagles, wide receiver.
Yeah, that we're getting really close here, and I was told the Patriots remain confident that they can get this deal done. When I checked with a source on trade terms, I was told that sides are, quote, working on it. And so after 4:01 p.m., around 4:01 p.m. tomorrow is when, that time that we've been waiting on, the Eagles can spread out that cap hit over 2 years instead of 1. So the Patriots are hopeful that they can try to get a deal done shortly after that window opens, but they still have to agree. I'm told they have not been overly crazy by giving up a first-round pick, which is what Philly's kind of wanted all along here. So they got to find a sweet spot on the trade terms. Does it include maybe a conditional pick or maybe a pick going back to New England? That's what they're sorting through.
As for another wide receiver who may have played his last snap for his current team, what is the latest you're hearing about 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk?
So we don't have to get into the rest of it. We can do a headline segment later in the week if we want for updates on Alvin Kamara and Brandon Ayuk. Patriots of the field including the team he's currently on.
Patriots. I think it's one of those things that there's been too much smoke for there to not be fire there. But I'm intrigued. To
What's
see
the cost?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not trading a first.
What have we been talking about with A.J. Brown?
I mean, what did Jalen Waddle just go for in the Denver-Miami trade? A first and a third, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Waddle is a little bit younger than A.J., not by much. But if A.J. Brown costs you anywhere in the neighborhood of a first, and if you're talking about the Patriots, it's fair to expect it might be a lower first, right? You would at least imagine they're sniffing around the wild card spot, so at best, you're talking about a bottom 16 pick in the first round if you were to move forward with an A.J. Brown trade for a first-round pick. But I don't think he's worth a first-round pick anymore. Do you guys? I mean, he is almost 30, not super healthy. He was very available, very durable to his credit for the first couple of years in Philadelphia. He didn't look healthy last year. He also didn't try last year. Now, you might say, well, if he's in a better situation and if he's around more like-minded individuals, people that know how to deal with him, for lack of a better term, maybe he'll go back to flourishing and maybe he'll give more effort. Maybe it'll be the A.J. Brown of old. And it's possible that does take place. But even then, it's not like that's a long-term thing. You're talking about a first-round pick for this guy.
Jalen Waddle was traded along with a 2026 fourth in exchange for a first, third, and fourth.
First, third, and fourth. So Waddle and a fourth for a first, third, and a fourth. Was the fourth a future fourth?
No, it was all for the 2026 draft.
Yeah, the Dolphins had like 10 picks in the top 100
And this is the Kingmaker draft, right? This is people being willing to give up picks in this past year's draft to make sure that they saved their 2027 picks. So not trying to give away future picks for the Waddle deal. Now we're talking about 2027 picks, a draft that right now has a lot of hype around it. We'll see how the college football season plays out.
Yeah, if there's a first involved for Jalen Waddle, I think there's going to be a first involved for A.J. Brown.
You have to ask, but I don't think you give up that price.
Would it be a more digestible trade if they got something back? Like not like a fifth or a sixth. Like if the Eagles were willing to give up their second in 2027 to get the Patriots first.
And you're talking about, at that point, a bottom second, because Philadelphia has to be favored to win their division again, AJ or not.
And you're also hoping, at least on the Eagles' case, that the Patriots would regress towards the mean. They would potentially miss the playoffs. You would have a top 20 draft pick in the top 100. And they also, if you'll remember back to the 2026 draft, they traded their 2026 and their 2027 third-round picks for Jonathan Grenard. They still have a third-rounder coming back to them via Jalen Phillips leaving via free agency as a compensatory pick next year. So they will have a third. It will just be a third past the top 100 or right at 100.
Would we say that this past season was the worst version of A.J. Brown of his NFL career so far? Looking at one entire season?
And not healthy, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So if
combative.
This past year, the worst version of A.J. Brown was still a fourth consecutive 1,000-yard season.
Yeah.
And he's had one season in his NFL career.
How many touchdowns? His scoring production went down, right?
7. Exact same as each of the 2 years before that. So if that's the worst version of A.J. Brown, in a situation where he was coming off as a malcontent, where he was complaining about things, where it was generally toxic, I feel okay about giving up a first-round pick, bringing him into a situation where he's going to be familiar with the head coach, that he knows how to work under. He's going to be the primary target, bar none, in New England for quarterback Drake May.
Yeah.
If I'm a Patriots fan, I'm good with taking that swing for a player who, at his worst, was a 1,000-yard, 7-touchdown receiver last year.
AJ's a different player than when Vrabel coached him here, though. Like, he's a different person. Yeah, I don't think you can just assume. It does make sense, but it's not like Kevin Byard going to play for Mike Vrabel. AJ's a different, more combustible element, and he's a vet. He's won a Super Bowl now. He is going to be a different kind of entity to manage. And I don't know that Mike Vrabel is in the best position to be holding people accountable in his present state. I don't know how that works. It could be fine. It could be totally fine. I just think there's red flags all around this trade, and it feels like the Patriots are going to do it come hell or high water. I just don't think it's a hell or high water situation for them.
I also feel like the devil's in the details with the stats. Like, yeah, he had the same number of touchdowns. Yeah, he had 1,000 yards, but he had 11 more catches than he did in 24, but 70-plus less yards, which affects his average. It was the worst average per catch of his entire career at only 12.9. So I think that means he's losing his top-end elite traits. Like, I mean, he's still going to be a good player, but he's not going to be the guy that we all think he is.
Sure. So let's talk this out, because I haven't really thought about this as a comparison, but it's worth doing it. So A.J. Brown, when you think of wide receivers that have aged well, who's the first name that comes? Who's the name association that you do? Wide receivers whose games have aged well.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Devontae Adams.
Larry Fitzgerald, Devontae Adams. I would say Hopkins.
Oh, yeah. Definitely D-Hop.
I mean, it wasn't his best season. Mike Evans.
Yeah.
So there is a precedent, and AJ is capable of being, if he does the Derrick Henry thing, where he just continues to add muscle as he gets older, as he loses speed, he just turns himself into a more durable player, then there's reason to believe that he could have a sustainable career. Robert, for me, I think of him like Anquan Bolden. as he gets older. Like just an absolute wrecking ball of a human being who's going to still be able to get yards after contact, who's going to break tackles, but won't be able to pull away from you. He's wide receiver Derrick Henry to me. And I know that that's a high praise, and Derrick's a Hall of Famer, and I'm not saying that about AJ, but I think that he can age that way. He can continue to sustain that way, provided his knees hold up. But that's the question.
It's worth the swing for the Patriots for me. Like the injury questions.
A swing is not a first-round pick in what is believed to be one of the most loaded draft classes that we've had in a while. I know we say that a lot.
It is. No, this one especially at the top of the wide receiver class. But if you're the Patriots and you have the season that you hope to have, building off a Super Bowl appearance, we all agree there's going to be some sort of regression there. But what are the odds the Patriots are in position to land one of these top wide receiver talents we're talking about? A.J. Brown, it feels like if you give him a situation that he can thrive in mentally and as a human and emotionally, there's not really questions about the football aspect. And I think A.J. Brown under Mike Vrabel in that situation with the Patriots is one that I could easily see him thriving in emotionally. I feel like it would check a lot of the boxes that he wants, and you would get a good 1 to 2 seasons of prime A.J. Brown before something or other comes around.
That's absolutely best case scenario, but I really do think, and Lucas, obviously I haven't been around AJ in a long time. He's been in Philadelphia longer than he was in Tennessee now. So again, just talking about like he could be a completely different person from the person that I remember being here. And he was obviously at the very start of his career. But what I remember about AJ, and I think this still holds true based on his behavior, because you guys saw he deleted his Twitter.
I did not.
He deleted his Twitter last night. Or early this morning. I can't remember. We were talking about it on Fox. But he deleted his Twitter. I'm sure he's still online in some capacity. But AJ, I really think is a day-to-day proposition. Like, I don't think it's if you can get, to a football season, you're fine. I think there's going to be something every week, if not on a somewhat close to a daily basis, where you're dealing with something AJ related. We'll see. 615-737-1045, the number if you want to participate in the conversation. Let's get back to this Chaz Coleman drama happening with the Vols right now. We will update you on the latest. I'm Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. The best hot chicken in the world. Lucas can confirm. Odell Beckham Jr., we have breaking NFL news. Let's do some breaking NFL news. So the Giants had worked out a number of wide receivers. We were going to really talk about it more in headlines tomorrow, but since this is topical and it's a famous name, not only have the Giants signed wide receiver Braxton Berrios, who you don't care about.
Alex Earl's better half. Or not anymore. I think they broke up.
No.
Oh, they broke up.
Now Tom Brady's trying to slide in at parties in Miami.
The Giants not going to ask me who Braxton Berrios plays for.
Imagine being Braxton Berrios and being broken up with by a very, very famous, very, very attractive woman in her. I think she's like 25.
Who is this person?
Alex Earl.
Which one is that?
She is, you know the show My Name is Earl? That's her dad.
I don't think that's true. What's the breaking news that we're here for?
Odell Beckham Jr. is also signing with the Giants.
33 years old.
Going to be 34 at some point before the season.
Yeah, November. No, November.
When was the last game he played for the Giants?
For the Giants, that would have been...
He went to the Rams after the Giants?
No,
the Browns.
Browns for 3 years.
Right.
2 years, and then in the third year in Cleveland, he was traded to L.A. Yeah, 2018 regular season.
Because the Titans opened with that Browns team the first year that Odell and Jarvis Landry and Baker were there together, and the entire offseason, every talking point was Browns Super Bowl chances, Browns to the Super Bowl, Browns hype in ways you cannot possibly imagine. They would lead First Take on a daily basis, it felt like, with Browns topics. And then he wore that Patek Philippe watch during the game. It's an $850,000 watch that Odell Beckham Jr. is wearing during the Titans-Browns games, all for the Titans to go up there and whip their ass. It was A.J. Brown's first game. He had an explosive play in the game. I remember Marcus Mariota. That was one of his better games before he ended up getting benched that season that they ended up going to the AFC Championship game. It was Baker and Odell threatened for a minute there, but that was one of the bigger upsets that the Titans had that I covered.
New York fans that are waking up out of comas are like, God, it's so good to be awake. I was asleep for so long. Who's the Jets quarterback?
Geno Smith.
Oh, it's Geno Smith. Oh, he must be awesome. He had to win him a Super Bowl and All-Pro. Just please tell me, Odell. Please tell me he's still playing for the Giants. Yep, he is on the Giants.
How many Super Bowls did we win?
Buddy.
Is Eli still playing?
Mercifully, no.
So he has not had a season better than 500 yards since the 2023 season in Baltimore. He had 565 yards and 3 touchdowns. In 2024, he played in 9 games for Miami, had 55 yards total on 9 catches.
So he reunites with John Harbaugh, who obviously he spent time in Baltimore with.
Said it was his favorite person or one of his favorite people. Do you remember John saying that in the offseason? He was getting asked about signing Odell. Are you going to work him out? One of my favorite people on the planet.
McVay said the same thing about him. Did you see this? I think it might have been Lawan and Compton interviewing Sean McVay, or maybe it was a different platform. I can't remember. But McVay said that Odell Beckham Jr., McVay got married. And I don't know how many, of your former or current players you invite to your wedding if you're an NFL head coach, right? And apparently Beckham Jr. did not make the invite list, but showed up at the wedding anyway and was like the life of the party. He completely took it over like Wedding Crashers style, and McVay kept glowing about how Odell Beckham Jr. is just one of the most electric people he's ever been around. Now, as a player, well, what does this mean? One, they had an injury. Two, they have another little returner, the Braxton Berrios-esque that recently got hurt. Gunner something.
Olszewski, yeah.
Olszewski?
Yes.
He played for the Steelers for a period of time.
The Texans, the Steelers.
Yeah.
I believe he started with the Rams. No, maybe the Seahawks. One of those NFC teams.
Either way, Gunner Olszewski got hurt, which is why they're working out a number of wide receivers and why they've signed 2. We also didn't talk about the fact that Adam Schefter says Malik Neighbors might not be ready for the start of the season. I don't know if that, Brian Windhorse fingers, I don't know if a Braxton Berrios and Odell Beckham Jr. at 33 years old get you even a fraction closer to Malik Neighbors. But for all the hype around the Giants, and there is hype around the Giants, 5 games in prime time, John Harbaugh moving franchises for the first time in 18 years, quarterback that is young and likely ascending if he can stop ramming his head into things and, being a part of the news cycle. I don't know that this is going to go well, at least out of the gates.
Well, Jordan Renan is reporting that Malik Neighbors played every inning of a charity softball tournament that was put on by the New York Giants. He played every single inning, so he could be ready. But as a Ravens fan, I have seen this before. I have seen John Harbaugh bring people in. Oh, Michael Crabtree. Oh, Deshaun Jackson. Oh, Des Bryant. Oh, DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, DeAndre Hopkins was easily the best of the bunch. Oh, Jeremy Maclin. John Brown. Oh, he brings in
John Brown had like a year
with the Ravens, and he was actually really stinking good. But John will bring in these oldie goldies as a veteran placeholder until somebody can play, and until inevitably it does not work out that they can play. I've seen this John Harbaugh story before. I've read the book. I've signed it. I've turned it back into the library.
So while Titans fans talk about the Titans as the wide receiver retirement home, is it really the Ravens then?
No, because of what Robert just pointed out. Because Robert is saying that John Harbaugh is signing them with not necessarily the intent to play them, whereas the Titans are signing them because they need them. So get out there, 8,000-year-old Andre Johnson. People are alleging that Malik Neighbors looks like he couldn't even walk in the videos from the celebrity softball game in the chat.
He played every inning.
So, was he coaching? Was he?
That's
coaching?
not what the report said.
Coaching from the dugout, maybe.
I'll pull it back up. Hold on, for all you skeptics and doubters.
This is probably an oh-no or a dumbest thing in sports. But did you see what happened to Ramondre Stevenson in a celebrity softball game over the weekend?
Save it for tomorrow.
Oh, I missed it. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm not even going to look it up.
We'll save it. It involves notably somebody whose name has been a big part of this show for reasons that are beyond me.
Jordan Renan's report from yesterday. Never seen the current players so dialed into the event until the very end. Jackson Dart was diving and had the game-winning hit in the bottom of the fifth. Malik Neighbors played every inning. Javon Holland and Dalen Cambry were standouts. Players showed out for Brian Burns. I will read this again. I'm going to highlight it for myself to improve emphasis. Malik Neighbors played every inning. Played, not coached. Guys, draft him in your fantasy drafts, especially if you're in front of me. Would love for you guys to take him early.
When did he go down, Malik Neighbors?
It was early. It was early on. It was a home game because obviously the MetLife turf is always a talking point. I want to say it was like week 3.
It was early, and I know all of these injuries
week
are
2,
different
maybe?
and
Week
for different
4,
positions.
Week 4.
Against the Chargers, September 28th. We are approaching 8 months.
But it's crazy. We've got Patrick Mahomes coming off the ACL, already out there throwing the ball around in OTAs, and Malik Neighbors about to even start the season.
Well, wait. Where's your eye patch at?
All right, enough with the eye patch.
No.
I did my duty.
No, come on. Don't be fussy now,
I wore
dude.
the eye patch the whole first hour of the show.
We're
I ate your tender.
Where we got half the show
tired
left.
of the eye patch.
Just switch it to the other eye.
I'm tired of seeing 50%.
It's not like earrings, dude. You can put the eye patch on either eye.
I put on the eye patch.
Is exactly what I would like you to say if you're going to put on the eye patch.
I put it on as just a show of good faith. It was not part of the initial bet.
Well, no, you accept.
I'm done with your iPad. Here. You take your iPad.
No.
Just slingshot it back to you.
No. 615-737-1045. I need people to call in.
I'll put it to a poll.
I need people to call in right now and let Lucas know that he has to wear the eye patch for the rest of the day. Do not weasel out of a secondary part of this bet. We need the eye patch.
I did my duty.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll let them figure out there.
No, I don't even know. I guess we should just all go home. We're all just going to do half a job today. All right, we're half done. 11:30, show's half over. Let's all just.
Okay. We can leave.
Yep, I guess we can. That's Lucas's point of view. Yep. See ya, everybody. Great show today.
We're leaving? We're doing this?
Everybody's out of here. Just doing half a show. I guess we'll do something tomorrow. Probably half a show again. Appreciate everybody showing up. It's been a long time coming, but the show has finally imploded underneath its own weight. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the Buck Rising Show. All right, somebody come back in here. Anybody? Okay, well, I guess it's just me then. What do you guys want to talk about? 615-737-1045. Lucas coming back in the studio. Pick that eye patch up on your way in there. Buck's really not coming back. We shouldn't have said that.
Are you proud of yourself?
Are you proud of yourself? Look what you've done. You've imploded the whole show.
I hope you're happy.
Where is he at? What is he doing?
Oh, you said the show was over. You said we're only doing half.
Dadgummit. Nobody called in either. I was hoping I could take calls while you guys were gone. The other news we got, former New York Giants quarterback Russell Wilson signing an exclusive deal
with
CBS. He is going to be a CBS contributor, a CBS sports analyst. Adam Schefter notes, Wilson won a Super Bowl, the Walter Payton Man of the Year, and now leaves the NFL to become an analyst on the network's pregame show that includes James Brown. But the only thing you need to know is the note was, and now Buck has returned to the studio. Yes, your namesake. Got to cut your mic on.
What happened?
I don't know. I'm flying blind here.
Okay. You want to talk about Russell Wilson?
Yeah, that's what I was just teasing. Everyone else has heard this part, but Russell Wilson signing with CBS. He had offers to go to teams as a backup and turned those down for an opportunity to be on the CBS pregame show. Y'all's thoughts?
Definitely making more money.
Yeah, he's going to get a significant raise to go do television. So did you guys, Lucas, you probably wouldn't hear most of those pregame shows because you have done Titans radio pregame in years past. So you're in the middle of doing stuff while those CBS shows or ESPN shows are on. I don't think I saw Matt Ryan do TV.
Yeah, I can't say that I, got a good glimpse at Matt Ryan at the start of his TV career. I'm not even sure how that was received, to be honest.
So did you see anything did you see Matt Ryan on TV at all, Robert? I don't know what your pregame experience is like if you're doing something, if you're listening to local Ravens broadcast pregame, what that is for you.
Yeah, I've seen Matt. I thought he did a good job. I thought he was serviceable.
So Russell Wilson to me is a good figure to put on television because I already think of Russ as inauthentic. And I feel like those are the best personalities, or those are the best personalities suited to TV. A-Rod, not A-Raj, famously, but A-Rod. I don't know if Alex Rodriguez is considered good on television. I like that show. I think that he fits on that show, but he and Russell Wilson to me have similar personality types. Now, I have one of my favorite, because I haven't watched the Manning cast a ton, but I've seen enough of them on Monday nights when we'll finish primetime and you just have it on in the background, especially if you don't care about the actual game. Russell Wilson probably did one of my favorite Manning cast appearances, his first appearance on the show. You guys remember this? Because he got a lot of praise for it. He was breaking down plays in real time with the Mannings, and it was one of the smarter football conversations that I can remember. I'm sure CBS, and obviously you'll have some working level of knowledge coming straight from the game into the broadcast booth. The question is Russell Wilson going to continue to sustain that? Will he actually be good at it in a broadcast setting? He's not calling games, so he's going to be a studio host. I just don't know how many viewers are those studio shows actually getting?
Enough.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, enough to put sponsorship on. But, have you ever watched the ESPN NBA one before they brought on Inside the NBA? It's just like Mike Greenberg saying 5 words, Stephen A. yelling something, and then they throw it to another commercial. It's just there to satisfy the commercial requirements. So CBS, we'll see. I feel like he fits in. Nate Burleson is still doing that show or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Because Nate,
he's basically
he's not on Good Morning America.
He's a media megastar now.
CBS This Mornings. He's not on CBS Mornings anymore during the weekdays, whatever their morning show is called. But either way, I think that'll be a fine fit. Russell Wilson will do well on television.
I honestly think he may be better at TV than he was as a quarterback, and that's saying something. I mean, I feel like Russell Wilson is
Russell a Hall of Famer.
I mean, he is the definition of what have you done for me lately, where no one is going to remember how prolific he was very early on in Seattle, and he had a lot of good things going for him. He had a great run game. Seattle went out there and got him a lot of offensive weapons. He had a great defense to sit back on. But he was, through the first 4 years of his career, was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. And now, 4 years after he is traded from Seattle, is out of work.
I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Tony Gonzalez made a lot of headlines toward the end of what games did Russell have to play this year that Tony Gonzalez kind of said he's playing himself out of the Hall of Fame on an Amazon Prime broadcast.
Yeah.
You remember this?
Yeah. He and Richard Sherman were talking about it.
And Richard Sherman is always kind of quick to jump on Russell Wilson.
Can you do that? Can you play yourself out of the Hall of Fame if you
not if the thing is working the way that it needs to work, right?
Yeah, I just don't see it that way. I don't think you can put together a Hall of Fame resume as an NFL player and then poor performances on the back end of your career delete what you did. That doesn't to me that was just Tony Gonzalez taking it a step too far.
He's on TV, he got caught up.
Now Russell Wilson, the perception of Russell Wilson, to Robert's point, what have you done for me lately? Completely flipped. And it flipped very quickly.
Well, because think of what the dialogue was of him at the end of Seattle, which is they're holding him back. And then all of a sudden it's let Russ cook in Denver, except it's terrible.
It was an abject disaster. That 1 year in Denver was a complete and utter disaster for what they gave up for him, for what was still expected of him, all the toxicity of it all, the off-field stuff, Russell in his office, teammates jawing on the sideline. But I don't think you can play your way out of a Hall of Fame spot. That doesn't add up to me.
It also wasn't just the 1 year, right? Because he had the 1 year with Hackett and then Peyton.
Yes. Yeah, then Peyton came in. You can overstay your welcome, no question.
Yeah.
Plenty of quarterbacks have done that in NFL history, but I don't think you can play your way out of a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think honestly, if you wanted to point to somebody who Russell Wilson could look at and say, you really did me a disservice at the end, it'd probably be Nathaniel Hackett, because that guy should not have been an NFL head coach. That was the stuff of nightmares. Was that following up Vic Fangio? Was that the successor for Vic Fangio in Denver, if I remember correctly? 615-737-1045. We will take your phone calls on. We have a lot of Titans actually to talk about throughout the course of the week.
Wait, can we take this call before we go, though?
Okay. Let's go to Braden in Chattanooga.
Lucas, the people want the patch. You make a career off of your words. You have to be a man of your word and put the patch back on.
Calling you a coward.
Another thing, a coward. Another thing, Jeffrey Simmons, we're going to see the best version of Jeffrey Simmons that we've ever seen in his career, I think, this year. Because he's going to be fresh on every third down, every important down that he needs to be out there. So if Robert Saleh is a man of his word, that will happen. But, Lucas, we need you to be a man of your word and put the patch back on. That's all. Thank you, guys. Love you. Bye.
Love you too, buddy.
I've done my duty.
No? Remember when he said he was doing things for the audience earlier in the show?
And now he's spurning those same audience members.
Our handshake agreement was to eat the tender.
No.
And you threw in the eye patch over the weekend
and
as
you said, I'll do it. You said, I'll do it.
I said, yeah, I'll do it. But I ate the tender. Eye patch is gone.
You said you'd do both.
Yeah.
I tried to give you the
eye patch? Here's the dang eye patch.
I tried to give you the out at the start of the show by saying I heard you were intoxicated. And you said, what? I'm never intoxicated. I even tried to give you an out. Eye patch is back on.
That patch looked good.
On the other eye. Are you disoriented having gone from one eye to the other? 615-737-1045. We can talk about the Jeffrey Simmons thing later because Robert Saleh did give some comments on Friday that could make somebody think that Jeffrey Simmons, the best, is still yet in store. But coming up next, we are going to get to Handshake Gate. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. Lady Vols are back in action right now, as a matter of fact. Lucas, you're streaming it?
They're playing Texas for a spot in the National Championship Series. Texas needs to beat Tennessee back-to-back. The Lady Vols are just one win away. So we are headed to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless, Tennessee getting ready to come up to the plate.
So they advanced to the semifinals in spectacular fashion. They won a walk-off. They won the game against Texas Tech over the course of Saturday evening on a walk-off home run in the ninth inning. So instant classic type of stuff, and Tennessee secures the win prior to today's game. They go through the process, and the game gets overshadowed at the end by some things that were said during a post-game press conference, because you have the former Lady Vols infielder is it Taylor Pannell or Pannell?
I think it's Pannell.
Pannell. Okay. Taylor Pannell, who has been transferred to Texas Tech this past summer, claimed that Karen Weekly, who of course is the Lady Vols head coach, told her during the post-game handshake line that she made a, quote, mistake by leaving UT. Quote, we were walking through the line just saying good game, and she said that I made a mistake instead of saying good game, which is kind of crazy. Like, celebrate with your team. I just think it's funny. She's still thinking about it. It's old news, whatever. So Karen Weekly's asked about this in her own post-game press conference. And according to the Knoxville News Sentinel, says, quote, that's an outright lie. I said good game like I said to every other player. Holly Rowe and ESPN have done some investigative journalism, and they have discovered at the key to Handshake Gate, Karen Weekly, in fact, does say good game to Taylor Pannell, despite what Taylor Pannell said Karen Weekly said. So we have a she said type of situation in which one person just outright lies, it seems, or maybe made it up in her head. I don't know what's going on there. But, like, what would compel you to just tell a lie when there are cameras and microphones all around you?
Let's hear it back. Let's hear the essentially the Zapruder film commentary on ESPN over the weekend, starting with Pannell and her post-game comments.
Did you say to Taylor Pannell in the handshake line after the game?
Pannell.
No, just good game. Like I say to every player, good game.
What did Karen say to you in the handshake line after the game?
Yeah, we were walking through the line just saying good game, and she said that I made a mistake instead of saying good game, which it's kind of crazy, like celebrate with your team, and I just think it's funny she's still thinking about it, but it's old news, whatever.
Our post-game cameras, we spot Shadow Weekly on the left. Number 6 in red is Pannell. Walking down the handshake line. There doesn't seem to be a reaction there. We're going to zoom in. You see Karen Weekly saying good game. Not this person. The next one is Pannell. We do not see Weekly say anything different. There is no reaction from Pannell there. We move ahead a moment later. Weekly is well behind Pannell, still in the handshake line. You're going to see right here, Pannell reacts to something out on the field. Then she starts talking with her teammates. A moment later, Jerry Glasgow is shepherding the team back towards the dugout. He asked Pannell, did somebody say something? And Taylor does say something to Jerry Glasgow.
Beth Mowens, crushing the play-by-play on that.
Yep.
She just walked you through the entire sequence.
Absolute pro.
Without you seeing it. So ESPN goes, as Lucas said, full Zapruder film on this and does not discover the exchange between Karen Weekly and Taylor Pannell.
I believe somebody said something, right? Like, I don't think...
Was it Karen Weekly, though?
Taylor Pannell's just making stuff up. That'd be weird. It wouldn't make any sense. But, yeah, Karen Weekly, I'm not going to act like I know Karen Weekly personally, but she's never struck me as that type of coach, right? That trash-talking after the game kind of coach. It's just never really been... It's never been a part of her repertoire in her many, many, many years as a head coach for Lady Vols softball. So, weird situation, but that went kind of viral over the weekend, too. ESPN's investigative journalism after the fact.
You want to tell him, or should I, Robert?
The chat is upset that you don't have your eye patch on.
All right. It's going to be a thing.
Why'd you try to put it on your nose? You should just put it on different parts of your body. Put it on your nose for one segment.
It's on my forehead. Nobody ever said it had to be over the eye.
What isn't? eye patch. But, I mean, we can say it's covering your third eye.
Keep your third eye open.
Yes, your chakras are aligned, and they are blinded now by the patch.
No, it's not aligned if they're blinded. He's thrown his chakras astray, asunder, askew.
Tennessee's got a runner on third, 2 outs, facing a 1-2 count. 2-1 count, rather. Bottom of the third.
So, forgive my ignorance here. When is the last time they've been in the final series?
Oh, last time Tennessee was in the final series. I will have to look that up. If I'm not mistaken, this is their 10th Women's College World Series appearance. They are seeking their first national championship, but maybe once. I'll find out.
We will get into some Titans OTA stuff. Carnell Tate shown strong again on Friday. We haven't had a chance to talk about it, so we will get to that in the final hour coming up next.
Seconds away from 12 o'clock. Good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Finals are set in the NBA and NHL. The Stanley Cup final gets underway tomorrow night in Raleigh. The Hurricanes host the Golden Knights for Game 1. The NBA Finals tip off Wednesday night with the Spurs hosting the Knicks. In Knoxville, the drama around Tennessee and edge rusher Chaz Coleman has continued as VolQuest reported over the weekend that Coleman returned to campus after missing the beginning of summer workouts, but his status with the football team appears to remain in question moving forward. Meanwhile, in Oklahoma City, the Lady Vols currently in action in the Women's College World Series semifinals. Texas hitting a solo shot at the top of the fourth to take a lead. It is 1-0. Tennessee is one win away from the national championship series. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
How much hype is too much hype when it comes to OTAs? Carnell Tate is, again, the subject that grabbed the most attention, that gathered the most headlines out of OTAs on Friday. We obviously haven't had a chance to talk about it since we had all of these. I mean, they crammed way too much. I'm grateful for, like, access and stuff like that, and we need these things to, be able to do our jobs, but they just shoehorned a bunch of stuff into Fridays. We talked to every assistant coach. We haven't talked to the assistant coaches once this offseason. Everybody but Greg Lewis, the wide receivers coach. He was out for some personal matter.
Mike Borgonzi's brother was there?
Yes.
What did he have to say? He say anything cool?
He actually did have some good insights on how they're coaching up the linebackers in Robert Saleh's system, and we also talked to Cedric Gray. We talked to a bunch of players, all the assistant coaches, Saleh. We had 2 hours of practice, a lot of stuff.
What about Saleh's brother? Isn't Saleh's brother like an assistant linebacker coach?
There's a Saleh cousin running around out there. He's like a quality control guy. I haven't laid eyes on the Saleh cousin. I've seen one of his sons is out there. I believe it's his oldest son who's out there hanging out a little bit like Carter Vrabel used to, so same vibes. But there is a lot of talk about Carnell Tate. And if you're going to talk about one position, put your eye patch back on. You read the chat. Accountability.
Put it on your chin this time.
Maybe around your neck like a choker. That looks like
Now he looks like he has a flavor saver.
Oh, that looks disgusting.
If you've ever wondered what Lucas would look like with a goatee, you got to check out Zone TV right now.
Or facial hair. You would look gross.
Who is that Philadelphian politician with the big chin hair? That's who Lucas looks like right now.
I'm not placing the guy that always wears the hoodies.
Yes.
I'm blanking on his name.
John Fetterman.
John Fetterman.
You look like Lucas Fetterman. Lucas Betterman. As in, Lucas better put that eye patch on for the rest of the show, man.
Is he leading the show? He has to be by a mile in different nicknames. Luke Ass Panchica. You've got Peter Panzica. You've got what was your nickname just now, Robert?
John Betterman.
John Betterman.
I don't know. I feel like I've got a couple too.
No, you just make your own ones up, and then you can't follow through on them.
Well, Slay calls me Burt Burt. I'm not.
You're juiceless.
All right, talk about your show. Do your show. Do your show.
No juice.
I have juice. Damn it.
Carnell Tate. How much hype is too much hype at OTAs?
It's just something that's going to happen. I don't know. I don't think there's a level of too much hype and not enough hype. It's just something that's going to happen. Like, again, people are allowed to be excited about the number 4 overall draft pick.
Yep. No, but it's not people. It's teammates. Did you hear what Cedric Gray said?
Yeah.
I went up to him and said, "You're the truth." Or no, you're cold or something like that. I think he said both, which is, pretty decent compliment. Now, he immediately to me, and Calvin Ridley was out there. For what it's worth, Calvin Ridley was not doing team stuff. They pulled him off the field. They had, I'm still learning a lot of the new coaching staff and the sports staff, so I don't know who it was specifically that pulled Calvin Ridley off the field, but he was holding an iPad, so I assume it had something to do with GPS monitoring of Calvin Ridley's workload on that particular day. So they pulled Calvin off during team stuff. First time we'd seen Calvin Ridley so far this offseason. Chimere Dike, Alec Ironmaner, Carnell Tate all out there as well, along with the rest of the guys who are trying to earn roster spots. Bryce Oliver continues to make plays. But Carnell Tate looks like the best wide receiver out there. Is that notable? When they're in helmets and shorts, and they're doing some team, but no pads, obviously, so you're not getting real good looks at the offensive line or the running backs or the linebackers, the defensive line, what have you. There's a lot of things that you're still missing pieces and parts for. This is not real football, what we're watching right now. Kind of, but not really.
How much did Calvin Ridley participate?
Not in team. Not at all.
Okay.
He did individual.
So should it be that surprising that the number 4 overall pick looks like the sharpest receiver out there? I get he's a rookie. It's his first time in an NFL practice field, but there's a real scenario where, especially if Ridley is not consistently available this year, there's a real scenario where Carnell Tate is your number 1 threat at receiver.
I think he is now.
Like Wan'Dale Robinson's coming off a productive year. Understand that. He got a lot of targets. Malik Neighbors was sidelined, but he is also going to serve a pretty specific role for this team.
I think he still leads them in targets. If you made me guess, I'd probably guess Wan'Dale Robinson.
But Carnell Tate was drafted to eventually be a number 1 wide receiver, right? That is really the one thing that would have us saying, yep, you nailed that pick at number 4 overall. If you're drafting a wide receiver, is for him to come in and be a 1. So if he looks like a 1 early in OTAs with the information that we have at our disposal, then that should be a pleasant development for Titans fans.
Skinny on YouTube says, it's surprising when a Titans first-round pick looks like a first-round pick. Here lately, for sure. Because what was it with Isaiah Wilson? It was the DUI stuff. What was it with Caleb Farley? Well, it's his back, and then he has an ACL tear. I think he had multiple ACL tears while he was here. With Treylon Burks, what was his first appearance on the field?
Yeah, it's good to just be talking about
right?
football.
I mean, outside of Skoronski, they have been in this first-round pick wasteland, and so when the first-round pick merely contributes, like he's not doing anything. I mean, he made a one-handed grab while being held by Micah Robinson down the right sideline at OTAs on a ball. Cam placed the ball very, very well. And I was watching practice with Ramon and Slay and Dawn and Will throughout the course of this. Ramon was pointing out a couple of times where Cam had happy feet, like a little bit of PTSD, even though there's no real rush out there. Had some balls that were inaccurate. Had some balls that he was throwing low. But the one that he threw on that Carnell Tate one-hander, he put that ball in a place where only a wide receiver with what are the size of Carnell Tate's hands? They're like catcher's mitts. And he's 6'3", so he's got the prototypical size. He just makes a great play while being fouled, essentially, and comes down with the ball the way that you expect him to. He wasn't perfect. He had 2 drops. One was very catchable that I saw, but he had another contested catch where he went over the top. Micah Robinson had him in coverage, I guess, that day, and made a couple of nice plays. He's making plays out there for a quarterback who needs a playmaker. But if that's just the baseline, then I don't think that's that much to get excited about, other than to know that you have something that looks like an NFL quality wide receiver for the first time in a long time. And not, will he or won't he with Calvin Ridley. That, I think, is fair hype. If he's just simply doing the job, he's doing the job reasonably well, that's great. And he sounds like he gets along well with Cam, and they have had plenty of opportunities to get out there. And for what it's worth, it's only 2 practices that I've got to see with my own eyes. They've had several other OTA practices. We're not out there again for another 10 days. So Carnell Tate could have a crappy practice, and none of us ever know about it, except for the days when we're out there. He has caught everybody's attention immediately. But that's because wide receivers and quarterbacks are what you're out there to watch right now. 615-737-1045 is how you jump in. Darrell in the Burrow on YouTube says, but he's a number 2, right? He might be. I mean, he may be a second-tier number 1 wide receiver. I don't know how you classify that. But right now, he's probably the most reliable wide receiver on the roster today. Joe is calling us from Bowling Green.
Hey, guys. Enjoy the program as usual. I'm throwing a little bit of curveball. I got to thinking, if the Titans had lost the game to the Cardinals this year, that they should have lost by any measure, that would have made them the number 1 pick, the number 1 position. would we still have Carnell Tate? I'm pretty sure that both the Raiders and the Cardinals would probably trade up maybe to get Mendoza. What do you think about that? Would we still have Carnell Tate? And I compare him to Hopkins as far as a comp, if that makes sense, okay?
No, I understand your meaning. Hop's also got baseball catcher hands. So it's a hypothetical. We don't know. But there's a world in which they get a better deal to take Carnell Tate, right? If they're sitting there at number 1 and the Raiders still want to draft Mendoza.
Yeah, you could still end up with Carnell Tate and just have more draft capital to use elsewhere because you're almost certainly moving off that number 1 pick, right? If the Titans had lost to the Cardinals.
Not sticking and picking.
Yeah, no, you're moving off of that.
Unless Cam is just the worst quarterback you've ever seen in your entire life. And even then you have to think about it.
I mean, it's a good question. Like if the Raiders are just moving from 2 to 1, would the Titans still have taken Carnell Tate with the number 2 overall pick?
It depends on how many more first-round picks they have in that year's first round, right? Because they could then take, who went to? David Bailey? They could take David Bailey, and if Carnell Tate's sitting there at, say, they got, I don't know, the Raiders didn't have multiple first-round picks last year. So I don't know what that exactly would have looked like if they did a deal with the Raiders, which you assume they would have. So maybe a future first in that 2027 draft. But still, what your draft compensation looks like exactly, there's still a world, very real world, where you end up with the best skill player on the board in your estimation. Maybe that wasn't Jeremiah Love for them. Maybe that was Carnell Tate for what they need. Because Tony Pollard, I mean, we talked to Tony this weekend, and he's not the best quote or anything like that. But, like, I don't need Tony Pollard to be a good quote. I need him to go out there and bust his ass and want to win every week. Tony does that as consistently. He's the most consistent offensive player they've had in the last couple of years since Hop.
Yeah, in the last 2 years, yes.
I mean, it's a low bar, right? Who would even be?
Hopkins also is not. If we're talking about the last 2 years, yeah, it's Tony Pollard and nobody else.
Yeah.
And maybe Peter Skoronski. I mean, that's it.
Even Skoronski, right? He had a spectacular year last year, but I don't know that he was great in the year prior. I mean, it kind of felt like he started to get his flowers this year, specifically. Outside of that, and we can talk more about like what the assistant coaches said throughout the course of the Friday practice, because there was a lot of good information there about how they're going to change styles, essentially, how they're changing scheme stuff, what they're working on. Have you ever heard of a team with a designated nickel coach? The Titans have 3 defensive back coaches, 1 for corners, 1 for safeties, 1 specifically for the nickel. They've never had that in the franchise's history. So they got a unique division of labor. Maybe it's not unique in other places, but it's the first time that it's happened here, and that's just an interesting thing to see how that all works between the 3 of them. It sounds like they're making it seem seamless. I don't know if it is or not. There can be something, I guess, to too many cooks in the kitchen, but for right now, it seems to be working fine. Carmen Brasillo brought up Bill Callahan unprompted, wasn't asked necessarily about changing styles and changing coaching points, but brought it up and saying, yeah, there's a bit of a relearning situation going on here with a number of guys. And I'm frankly, for later in the week, I'm kind of concerned about J.C. Latham. I'm not pre-mad, but I'm pre-concerned about J.C. Latham. We can talk about that later in the week. 615-737-1045, how you jump in if you want to. 100 days to the 2026 NFL season. There's an article on ESPN regarding that we'll talk about coming up next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Play the laser lights. A blockbuster deal in the NFL. Ian Rappaport with it first. Bombshell. The Browns are finalizing a trade of Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett to the Rams in a shocker. Sources tell me, Tom Pelissero, and Adam Schefter, Cleveland would send Garrett to L.A. in exchange for star edge rush Jared Verse, a first-rounder, and more compensation to come. Insane. Myles Garrett was the talk of owners' meetings specifically. Andrew Berry, the general manager there, had said many times over that they were not entertaining even the question of Myles Garrett being moved. That was in March, though. On June the 1st, today, 100 days away from the NFL season, Myles Garrett is now a Ram. Jared Verse is now a Brown. You're going to hate that for Jared Verse.
None of us have talked about Myles Garrett at all in regards to a trade.
Well, we did in March. Not lately.
Not really. Like I feel like when Myles Garrett requested a trade last year, remember he campaigned. He did the rounds on Super Bowl Radio Row about why he wanted to be traded from Cleveland. Shortly thereafter, he got a massive deal to stay in Cleveland. He breaks the NFL sack record. He's Defensive Player of the Year. There were no concrete reports of the Browns trying to move off of Myles Garrett. To your point, anytime Andrew Berry talked about it, he would dismiss the notion entirely. It really felt like it was shaping up for Myles Garrett to just have a Hall of Fame career for the stinky Browns from start to finish. That's felt like where the Myles Garrett thing has trended. That's since last year.
It almost never happens.
Oh, your eye patch popped off. I think the reporting around it was that he's not getting traded now.
Yeah.
He's not going to get traded right now. Like the whole exchange to his contract that they did would make it more palpable for another team to trade him, and that's what spurred the trade talks initially. But then the whole conversation was, it's not happening right now. It's not going to happen this league year. Don't worry, guys. It's not going to happen today.
You just added the best defensive player to the best team in the NFL. They're on primetime 7 times this year.
Bleep them picks.
What do you do with them picks? You bleep them.
Yeah, you got your quarterback of the future. Bleep them picks.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, not even really bleep them picks because they drafted Jared Verse with one of those picks, with one of those first-round picks. So they used that pick to draft someone to then get someone who is, and don't get me wrong, Jared Verse is
a good player.
He's a really good player, but he's not Myles Garrett.
Nobody is. Myles Garrett may be the best defensive player I've ever seen. And I wasn't alive for LT or whatever, so I'm sure people of a certain generation would push back on that. Maybe Reggie White fans out there in the world. I'm sure there's plenty of Vols fans who feel a certain type of way about Reggie White. Myles Garrett is the best defensive player I've ever seen. He's certainly the most unprecedented from a physical standpoint.
Yes, but
I don't know. Since the guy that they had previously that was a defensive player of the year over and over and over again.
In our lifetimes, the three of us on this radio show, it's Myles Garrett or it's Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
And now they will have both been a Ram at one point or another. Donald, the whole time, I genuinely thought there was a possibility Myles Garrett could just Joe Thomas this thing and have a legendary Hall of Fame career playing for the stinky Browns and being well compensated for it throughout. But he's going to go play for the team Aaron Donald played for, and I wonder how this affects Super Bowl odds.
Well, they were already favorites.
Well, Zach just said that he just placed his Rams Super Bowl bet, and it was still plus 600. So odds have not been affected yet. So if you want a Rams Super Bowl bet, you better sprint to go put it in.
I mean, it's plus 600 right now as the favorite. Do we think that shifts with the Myles Garrett news?
It has to slightly.
I mean, that's worth moving them up to plus 500 or something.
Cleveland has had good defensive players during Myles Garrett's career, there's no doubt. But he makes them elite. At every turn, he makes them elite. If you're looking around, who's their defensive coordinator now that Jim Schwartz is gone? I don't know his name.
Who did Monken go get?
Off the top of my head. Robert, do you know who Todd Monken's defensive coordinator is? Off the top of your head, I can't remember.
Mike Rutenberg.
Okay, so Mike Rutenberg, I think, was a part of the Falcons staff. I know that name. Mike Rutenberg, you got to be looking. It's like Denard Wilson last year if the Titans had traded Jeff Simmons out from under him. It's like, what do you...
Poor Jared Verse.
What do you want me to... Yeah, that's the real loser in all this.
Well, not really. Because he's from Dayton, Ohio. So he gets to go back home. So it's not like he's going to Ohio with no ties. You can roll your eyes all you want to. But if you get to go back and play in front of, that's the whole reason that Joe Burrow was okay playing in Cincinnati.
Buck just assumes everyone would be miserable being around their family. Be close to family. That sounds like hell on earth.
Oh, God.
My sister was asking me if I'm going to my grandma's 90th the other day. I was like, it's the day before I leave for Europe.
You hadn't kicked her out yet. I feel like that's improvement on your end.
She made it a month.
Made it a month.
It's longer than the last one.
Maybe we can make it to Christmas. This is insane. Right?
Yeah.
She cooked. She made egg bites the other day.
This is the biggest blockbuster trade,
since Russ?
Eye-popping
since Russ.
Since Russ?
I would say. Well, Aaron
Rodgers. This is out
what
of
happened
nowhere.
first, Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson?
Russ was after Rodgers, I would
but
think.
This is an unexpected bombshell.
No, it's not. I mean, I don't think it's that unexpected.
Did we come in here today talking about A.J. Brown watch or Myles Garrett watch?
Sure, but there has been some level of people have been asking Andrew Berry questions within the last 3 months. So it's not a complete. If you're in Cleveland, I bet you're not stunned. Maybe the rest of the league is, but I bet in Cleveland you're not stunned.
We have not had one single conversation on this show about Myles Garrett trade rumors all year.
We talked a lot about it on the national show. We don't talk. Why would we talk about Browns trade rumors around here?
When it happened,
Garrett. We
did talk about trading for Myles Garrett this offseason. We absolutely did.
That's not true.
We did. But they
what
were.
What are you talking about?
It was like
we spent a whole level of conversation about could you get Myles Garrett with the 4th overall pick or whatever you were talking.
We've never spent one iota, one unit of time.
Hours
Tell him
of
to
the
drop
show
that eye patch
on trading
get
Myles Garrett.
Literally an hour of the show.
But to Lucas's
Take that eye
point,
patch and snap it in your eye.
whenever we talked about it, it was always like tongue in cheek, like, "Oh yeah, if he was like."
It was never real.
Yeah.
It was never. But we were talking about it here. It was never real here. It may be real for someone else. That's why it was being asked at owners' meetings. And again, it went completely silent, and then all of a sudden there's this huge trade earthquake of a situation. But it has been discussed in the last couple of months. How much better does he make them immediately? Because their secondary is still, and they addressed it with trading for Trent McDuffie. Man, they do this all the time, right? It's Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald and all the way that they acquire talent. They did it with OBJ the year that they went to Super Bowl. They probably don't win the Super Bowl without OBJ.
No, not he's the best player in that game. I think you flip it around. How much better do they make him immediately?
Ooh.
How much is this the best situation Myles Garrett has ever been in with that secondary and what he's surrounded by with a good young pass rushing core, even with Jared Verse out of the picture now?
They've still got Braden Fisk. Kobe Turner. It's a good interior defensive lineman for them I really like.
Byron Young is the edge rusher out of Tennessee that really broke out last year, has had a really strong start to his career. It's a strong defensive backfield. They addressed it by trading for Trent McDuffie in the offseason as well. Is this immediately the best defense Myles Garrett has ever been a part of?
Okay, so he was on one of the best defenses we've ever seen under Jim Schwartz, where they had, was that the Clowney year, and who's the guy that got traded to Detroit late in the season in 24? Zadarius Smith.
Yeah, it is a high bar. Like Jim Schwartz has had some very good defenses.
And there have been good players. Like I think there is an argument between that Rams team or this Rams defense and that Cleveland defense. Their corners were, I'm blanking on them right now. I want to say that they had top draft choices at corner on that defense. But he made them. Now he gets to go to a place where he's going to break the sack record again, right?
I think it was so easy for him to do in Cleveland because he was obviously the biggest dog in the yard. I think that he improves. You're not wrong that he gets improved by being on a better team, but he makes everyone around him drastically and dramatically better. Is that a word?
That is now. That is going to be the word for the Rams defense this year.
Really want to know how much more draft compensation. We know about the 2027 first. That means, by the way, the Browns have 2 first-round picks next year, but other draft compensation.
It'll be the 32nd pick. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not even like the value on that first-round pick is a second-rounder, essentially.
But I want to know exactly how much draft capital is headed to Cleveland.
Yeah, you would think that if there was a second involved or if there was another future first, that would already be noted, but it would not surprise me if it's not a 2027. I mean, how much is Jared Verse worth? Obviously, he's worth a first-round pick and some change, right? So that probably knocks the total down.
I mean,
other draft compensation still being negotiated.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know yet.
Is the reporting from Schefter.
And the Rams don't have any bonus picks. They have all of their own picks minus a 7th round.
Where did the Rams defense rank among NFC defenses last year?
It wasn't as good as you might think. It's a good front seven, but their secondary was just hemorrhaging at certain points.
Yeah, well, they've added 2 all-pro caliber players to that defense.
McDuffie and obviously Myles Garrett, who immediately helps your pass defense everywhere. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sure they're higher in some efficiency rankings than others, but he is going to just take them over the top. Imagine being Gardner Minshew or Jacoby Brissett. Maybe if you're Jacoby Brissett, you just don't show up to work those weeks. Like maybe you just hold out.
Good for Myles Garrett, man.
Good for Myles Garrett.
Finally go ring chase genuinely.
Well, got his money and then gets the opportunity to really compete. Like did it the right way from start to finish, man. And I'm sure there is some emotional attachment to him for Cleveland, but like you got to look at it at a certain while. Almost like, I don't want to compare him to LeBron, but like when LeBron left Cleveland because they weren't getting it done the way that they consistently needed to around him. And he goes to Miami and they end up winning a couple of championships. They don't, how many was he saying? 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, whatever. When they did that first Heat press conference, Myles Garrett has the opportunity to win a ring right away. He's 30. 31?
30. He'll turn 31 in December.
And he can play. How many more years has he got on that contract? He can play till he's 35 comfortably. Right? I mean, provided he doesn't have a catastrophic injury, God forbid. Like, this is such a smarter deal than I think the A.J. Brown trade would be for the Patriots. For what Myles Garrett, for the longevity that Myles Garrett can give you at one of the most important positions. Man.
Big time.
I'm just glad Ravens don't have to play that dude twice a year anymore, man.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have to deal with him.
Titans don't have the Rams this year again, do they? No.
How annoying has that been as a Ravens fan to know it's the Browns. They're not contending for anything. They've just got this one freak alien that can just completely wreck the game at any given point. How annoying has that been to face twice a year in the division as a Ravens fan?
I've got to find the stat again. Someone said in 16 career games against the Ravens, he had something like 14 and a half sacks in those games. Last year, he had 5.5 sacks. He had a game with 4 against Lamar. It's just insane. Oh, what else? What else?
Nothing. This is hypothetical. Okay?
Don't get me. You can't. You got me all tingly, dude.
No, this will make you feel something in your no places. Aaron Donald has talked about unretiring.
Yeah, has he though? Like seriously talked about it?
Wouldn't this make you seriously consider it?
I guess so, but it's been how many years at this point? 3,
I think,
since the Super Bowl. Basically,
buddy, how many for Phillip Rivers? And I know you're talking about defensive tackle versus quarterback.
I'll consider that if any news actually comes out about that.
The chat just brought it up, but
that would be insane.
Like, if you wanted to talk about the most no-brainer decision ever, you're going to talk about ring chase. All right, Aaron, let's go get it.
Is Matt Stafford, do we consider him to be a Hall of Famer? Is he going to be in the Hall of Fame?
After the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
He's going to own Lucas just because of when he played. His passing numbers are so much bigger.
Yeah, and his longevity. I mean,
so many dudes in the Hall of Fame. But I'm just saying, like, the way that the passing game uptick started. How many 5,000-yard seasons did he have in just Detroit?
Yeah. So how many NFL teams have a bona fide future Hall of Famer, one on each side of the ball? How many teams do you think can say that?
Rodgers.
Like shoe-in Hall of Famer, 2, 1 on each side.
Rodgers, I think, is going into the Hall of Fame.
Jets. Do the Jets have a defensive one?
I was going to say Clay Matthews.
Steelers.
I'm saying current.
Yeah. T.J. Watt and or Cam Hayward, maybe. We'll see. Cam Hayward has played for a long-ass time, and he's still one of the best defensive tackles in football.
T.J. Watt's probably a better bet, but both of them would have an argument to go in.
Yeah, there's an argument, I think, in Pittsburgh. Ravens don't on the defensive side of the ball right now, Robert. Right? They don't
have one on the defensive side of the ball. What am I supposed to do about it? I don't draft for him.
Kyle Hamilton, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hush that mouth up, dude.
At some point.
Hush that mouth up.
I don't know. Not Ed Reed, but I struggle to come up with another team off the top of my head. I'm sure there are other candidates that we're missing. Nobody in the AFC South. There's not a defensive Hall of Fame caliber player in Buffalo.
The Ravens do have one.
Who?
Calais Campbell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough. But at the peak of their powers.
Okay, he's still pretty peaked powered, dude. Have you seen that guy?
Yeah.
There's no grocery store with a top shelf high enough.
Somebody said on YouTube, if Brandon Graham, the former Eagles edge, can come back, Aaron Donald can come back.
What about Chris Jones and Pat Mahomes?
Chris Jones and Mahomes.
That's a good bet.
Yeah.
I would also say Lane Johnson and pick someone on the Eagles. Like, is there any...
At some point, right? Who was the former Mississippi State defensive lineman that they had forever?
Fletcher Cox.
But
he's done, right?
It would have to be...
Yeah, not active.
It would have to be Jordan Davis at this point.
Oh, no, not Jordan Davis, the other one. Who's the other interior defensive lineman that's really good?
I think Jordan Davis will end up having a longer... Have you seen Jordan Davis's body?
Yeah, no, he's a freak.
He has changed from being a lump of coal to being a diamond.
I'd also be curious to know the last time one team fielded the reigning MVP and reigning Defensive Player of the Year in the same season.
Ooh. That's
what the Rams are doing this year.
Maybe Rodgers and Clay... Was Clay Matthews ever... Surely Clay Matthews was Defensive Player of the Year once. I would have to think. I bet it's been like around that era. Maybe Brady.
Clay never won that.
Clay never won Defensive Player of the Year? That's kind of surprising, isn't it? I don't know who the candidates were the other years that he won it.
No, I don't think anyone's ever done it.
Did Cam Newton win MVP the year they went to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
So Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly?
Von Miller was Defensive Player of the Year that year.
Yeah, Kuechly was 2013.
Okay.
It's probably been a while.
According to the internet, it's never happened. The last time but the MVP and the Defensive Player on the same team was when it was one person, and Lawrence Taylor.
Dixie on YouTube says Jordan Davis is what Titans fan thought Tavondre Sweat is. Or was, I guess. Man, what a massive trade. What a huge win. Who is doing a better job than Les Snead? I mean, I know we talk about Howie Roseman, and Les Snead gets plenty of love. Obviously, John Schneider having just won the Super Bowl with Seattle. The NFC, man, is it just going to be the NFC's era to continue to win Super Bowls? The NFC West has a stranglehold on the entire thing, it feels, and has for quite some time. We have Andrew Berry sound, apparently. Robert just got in my ear. He's going to get it for us here in just a second. But the general manager of the Cleveland Browns, I guess, has already gotten. Did they produce something?
No, it is a post-practice check-in with Mary Kay Cabot, and he is saying, pump the brakes.
Oh, do you have the audio?
We can listen to it right now.
Okay, let's listen.
Obviously, we wanted today really to be about the Browns Foundation and everything that we're doing, the good work that we're doing there. Not naive that there's a lot in the social media sphere regarding Miles. Nothing is final at this point. We are in discussions of a potential transaction, including him. I'll have a lot more to say about it once it is final, if it does become final. And I'll discuss the details at that point. But we are in negotiations. We're hopeful that we close something here in the next several hours. But nothing's final right yet. So like I said, I'll have an update for you guys maybe as soon as tomorrow when there's resolution.
Okay. Now I would say, well, that's done and dusted. But we just went through an offseason with Max Crosby. So is he going to be a Ram? Did he have any? He finished the year healthy. There's no reason to think that there would be a medical situation. I mean, they're obviously still negotiating. It was reported that they're still negotiating details as far as draft compensation, additional draft compensation to be had.
Yeah, he was considered healthy. He had been participating in team activities and providing positive updates about his physical condition.
So, okay. We will see whether or not this ends up being finalized. Again, in almost any other situation, I'd say, yeah, done deal. But we are literally months removed from the Ravens and Raiders having a huge deal for another edge rusher fall out in a pretty consequential way. Last call for phone calls. If you got them, 615-737-1045. We'll update the polls, wrap up the show. Coming up next. So Myles Garrett, Jared Verse, team swap, Rams and Browns. Additionally, not to rob Lucas of headlines for tomorrow, but the Giants are just signing every wide receiver that worked out for them, not named Anthony Miller. So OBJ, Braxton Berrios, and Juju Smith-Schuster, you are all now the newest members of the New York Giants wide receiver corps. Not quite as sexy as Myles Garrett to the Rams, but a couple of updates to wrap up. Now, you said that it is premature or just a fun hypothetical to talk about Aaron Donald. Schefter just tweeted a picture of Myles Garrett standing next to Aaron Donald and said, next in line in L.A., the two of them standing next to each other.
Yeah, I feel like that's...
Think he's just doing it for fun?
I feel like that's him calling Myles Garrett like the successor to Aaron Donald. That's how I read it.
Which is not a wrong way to read that. I read that
next
as...
in line. I feel like he lays it out pretty clearly.
I thought it meant next in line, Aaron Donald up next. Maybe. You may have a better reading on this than I do. But I read it as, well, next in line, Aaron
I think
Donald
if Aaron Donald was going to come out of retirement, Adam Schefter would be reporting that, not like posting a nebulous picture for people to read into.
Sure. Todd Monken is also being interviewed, it looks like, at a golf tournament. That's
terrible place for this to happen for him.
Robert, can we get that sound? It's on Mary Kay Cabot's Twitter feed at some point from an hour ago. Todd Monken being asked about this. Nobody looks more disoriented and disheveled at any given point than the coach of the Browns as of late. And not just because he looks like a divorced dad. But the caption on the tweet before we hear the audio is, Todd Monken said he was never given a guarantee that Myles Garrett would be on the team when he took the job. This all happened at the Browns Foundation golf tournament at Firestone Golf Course today. So everybody's out. The whole organization's out for a golf event. There's media hovering around, and you potentially, in all likelihood, trade Myles Garrett. Do you have the Monken sound? He looks like he's doing something back there. He doesn't have his headsets on. At your convenience. No rush.
No, sorry, I was listening to it to make sure that Todd wasn't letting some stuff slip. But, if he does, he does.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Not at all. I mean, it's not even come across my desk. I don't think we're in a position to want to go down that road. That's my opinion. That's not Andrew's.
Oh, I'm playing the wrong one. That is him commenting on going after Brendan Sorsby in the supplemental draft.
Do not put the degenerate gambler in that quarterback room. Do not do that to that man.
Deshaun's like, hey, I like massages. He's like, hey, I like to bet. Like,
let me bet on how many massages you've had.
Freaky Friday. Like, you start betting. This is Todd Monken saying he was never given a guarantee that Myles Garrett would be on the team when he took the job of the Browns. He is talking from the Browns Foundational Golf Tournament at Firestone.
Assured that when I took the job, I was never assured of anything when I took the job other than once I signed my contract and whatever my contract said, that's what I was assured. And no matter what any of us coaches sign up for is we show up every day and we coach the guys who are in the building like we've done since we've been here. That hasn't changed.
I think if Myles Garrett got traded out from under me while I was at a golf tournament, I would handle that poorly. So I think Todd Monken is being very diplomatic there.
Andrew Berry has been the GM of the Browns
for a while.
Since 2020. So we're on over 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
What is that legacy going to be? You acquired and gave the biggest fully guaranteed deal in NFL history to Deshaun Watson coming out of what he came out of. Yep. And we know what those results have been on the field. And you dealt away one of the best football players we have ever seen play in the National Football League. And that's not me saying this is a bad trade by the Browns. You're at where you are as a franchise. Like at some point, you just got to start trying to move forward. And you just weren't able to capitalize on Myles Garrett. You just weren't. But how are people going to look back on Andrew Berry's tenure in Cleveland?
Does he get the chance to draft the next Browns quarterback? Because they can cut Deshaun for like $35 million next year. Finally. He's under contract. Do you know how long he's under contract till?
Like 2 more years?
2030. Guess again.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson. Fitzy looked it up this morning.
It's crazy.
That might be with voids. I don't know if that's necessarily
He's got void years.
a true. I think this is the final year of his outright contract.
Yeah.
They will still owe him money.
They still pay him.
But I think the way that's done is that money will not be included in the cap space because they have already paid up their guaranteed. So that will all just be funny money that the Browns have to pay out of pocket. It will not impact them signing free agents. If I understand void years, that as Zach has explained it to me.
No, you're correct. How much money does Jim Haslam want to light on fire? You know? It's just an outrageous sum of money that they spent to screw all of this up, essentially. They wrecked their competitive window with Watson. Now, easy to say if the pervert works out and he throws for 50 touchdown passes in a year and the Browns win the AFC North and make a meaningful playoff run or multiple meaningful playoff runs. But he hasn't. Deshaun Watson has been awful. He's been as bad as you can imagine among starting quarterbacks. Maybe he brings it all. He's only 31 years old. The idea that Deshaun Watson is our age is kind of crazy. And still out here, younger than us, younger than me and Robert at least.
It's crazier that Myles Garrett is my age. That's crazier.
Both of you are specimens. Wait, where's your eye patch? Is it weird to say?
You got to move it. It makes you look like you've got a lazy eye when you do it like that. Like half of your face is melting from that chicken tender.
Is it weird to say that I love this for the Browns?
Well, pending further compensation.
Well, sure, but like you're going into what is already being heralded is as the strongest draft in 4 years.
Yeah.
You have 2 first-round picks. You have a young ascending pass rusher who is not necessarily going to be asked to fill the shoes of Myles Garrett, but can probably do a pretty good job. He's not an empty chair, as Coach Mack would say. He is a problem. And they're really just resetting the hourglass. Where if they want to pay Jared Verse, he's eligible to receive an extension at the end of this year. They could just double down and pay him the same, like not the same, the same comparable money that they're paying Myles and have another pass rusher for the next 6 years, 7 years.
I think another missed opportunity. He's just no longer playing the game.
He's like a chameleon over there. You don't really know if he's awake, alive. You don't really know what he's doing.
He's just seeing an eyeball, rather a fly land on his eyeball or something like that. It's not moving.
Blam.
But to Lucas's point, that complicates the Andrew Berry discussion further because if they suck, like if their quarterback situation goes nowhere this year, and Jared Verse, you have additional compensation?
No, I just have a detail. You finish and I'll chime in.
I'm just saying if they are in a spot where they finish, towards the bottom of the league again, is Andrew Berry going to be retained to get to make all these draft picks? Or are they going to reset the board, the front office too? Because I don't know what that administration or that ownership group thinks of him. But they clearly think a lot of him to be able to let him do these kind of moves. You have to clear this with ownership. What's the detail?
2 notes. One, Jordan Schultz is tweeting eyeball emojis, which makes me think that there is something on the horizon, maybe A.J. Brown or June 1st specific.
Oh, don't do that, Jordan. Just tweet the news.
I know something.
Annoying.
Hey,
It's
hey, everybody. I'm in the know. I know something.
Come on.
Ari Myrov tweets this detail. One detail the Rams have privately stressed. The Myles Garrett trade does not happen if they don't draft Ty Simpson at 13.
Yeah.
With a quarterback they believe can be the future already in place, the Rams are once again comfortable using future draft capital to acquire elite talent. They don't need to worry about those picks for a quarterback if they already have one.
Yeah. Makes sense. Has any team just more unabashedly been willing to take swings like this and go all out for a Super Bowl window like we've seen from the Rams in these last few years?
Philly would be the other one I would bring up.
Philadelphia, but I mean, beyond those two, would you say what the Broncos are doing right now is not quite that?
But what the Rams have done, yes to Philadelphia, but they also got great value out of their quarterback, right? The quarterback that led them to that Super Bowl was a second-round draft pick, a pretty developmental player. The Rams, the swing that they made to bring in Matt Stafford, and now the swing they're making to bring in Myles Garrett, to have that centerpiece on each side of the ball be brought in that way.
You know what? Denver
in one window.
Denver did try this, though. They tried it with Russ.
They tried it with
Russ.
Russ.
It just blew it up in their face, right? They tried it. They tried to do what the Rams are doing. They just failed. Well, Russ, both parts failed, right? Nathaniel Hackett was one of the worst head coaches of all time. So you have seen teams occasionally make that effort, but not with success. The Rams, it is both that they are lucky and better at this by a significant margin than the vast majority of people in the league doing this. If we'd have done polls today, there were polls to do, but we did not have time to get to them because it was a very newsy day. The polls would have been presented by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. We will have prime time tonight. Robert and me will talk more about this Myles Garrett situation and a little bit more on Jeffrey Simmons. Have a great afternoon.